Welcome back to another USF esports competitive stream. We are here to watch the ECAC esports tournament for Valorant. I'm here casted by Kevin Castle K Castillo. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Excited to watch both of my teams go at it for a better record. If one of them wins, the other actually gets to be under them in the ECAC league. So I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see what's going on tonight.
Yeah, as you saw in the beginning for the first graphic, we are actually watching both our USF green and our white team play against each other for today. They actually do have the same record, so this game will be able to differ who is the better Valorant team between the two. What are your takes on this?
Honestly, it's pretty interesting. That's all I could say because when people ask me who do you think is going to win, I can't tell you, and that is what makes me really excited about these two teams. When I made these teams, or when me and my officers helped make these teams back in January, there was a bit of skill, discrepancy there. There's reasons why we have tiers for every team, right? There's the gold because they're the varsity, green because they're kind of like the JV version of the sports world, and then the other two teams are white and storm. Technically, those are up and rising kids who need a little bit more practice and a little bit more exposure to get better, but that's not the case this semester. It's just white team has improved so much, and so has Storm, that both of them almost look like the same team, and both of those teams look just as good as the green. So I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen tonight because honestly, they go back and forth each other in the chats. So it's gonna be really funny to see the end result tonight.
Yeah, of course. Especially since we were talking about it like a little bit before the stream started, we were talking about how like you were saying that these teams are very similar in skill level. Do you think that there's any like preference to a certain side that we'll be able to see during these games?
So I do know White's still wet behind the ears when it comes to bomb plants and post plants. They tend to have a little bit of struggle on that, where Green Team does better in that aspect. But I've seen that Green has also a bit of trouble when it comes to the attacking side, which White Team has the better advantage there. So in all honesty, they kind of have like this double-edged sword about each team. They do better than the other, but the other does better than that, right? So it's we have to really look at it closely. What I would tell the audience really for tonight is take a close look at what happens during the clutch moments, because that's what really is going to define which team is doing a little bit better than the other. Because I won't sit here and tell you they're not doing good. They're both 4-1 in the ECAC league, which is a tough league to even begin with. So for the fact that they're up against each other with the same record, that speaks volumes. And as a president, I can't ask for more, really, because the only other thing I could ask is that they are just as good as the gold team. And we're still in the process of that making happen, right? But at the end of the day, what I would really, really tell the audience and everyone back at home, just watch the clutch moments because you're gonna really see who is still or who's gonna be the better team for tonight.
Yeah, that it would be very interesting to watch tonight. Also, I was told by our producer that our first game will be on Icebox, and they recently had a new patch around like a week ago.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on it?
So Icebox always had this convoluted B site, right? So it was very like if you were able to control with Viper, or if your team actually ran Viper smart enough because she was meta at the time to be throwing her upper walls on B, it was always a very easy retake. Now they just took Icebox and made it as if it was hard for both sides. It's like no side has a equal advantage. It almost feels fair, but at the same time, it's very annoying. You got that weird change on yellow box. You got that weird thing going on in Nest where instead of now there used to be a little like a little cave, little hidden passage with a box in between. Now they took that like completely off and changed it to a billboard. So there's no sneaky play other than going right behind the box itself. So in all honesty, the changes that they made to Icebox a little questionable, but I kind of dig it. I'm not 100% of a fan on it just yet, but I do like to see that in the pro plays, they actually do prefer this new change, even though, like, the thing about Valorant is everyone will be happy at the end of it or when they're about to make the change, but no one is ever happy in the beginning of the change. So, like, including myself, I used to Viper main a lot on Icebox, But I don't see a point in her now that she got nerfed, and now the better options are Brim and Omen. Even Astra got the nerf, so it's those were the two that you would use on Icebox, Astra and Viper. So with the changes now, it almost seems a little unnecessary to use them now.
Mm-hmm. As you were talking about like the nerfs and buffs to certain what was it, characters, one thing that like popped up like on social media was like the Astra nerf, correct?
Hmm.
And like there's this new thing where like if she uses her ability in the start of the first round, she's able to like recall it and resell to like upgrade to a gun on a pistol round. Is that going to be like viable in like these games, or is it like been fixed already?
If I'm not mistaken, Riot has already sent out the patch. I know many Valorant players are probably receiving a lot of updates lately because it's a new act. Riot likes to throw in a bunch of stuff in the beginning of the new act, but then like halfway through the season, we're dealing with their bugs, right? So like just like you said, the Astra bug right there, that's a bug. That's not well, the coders would call a feature. That's a bug, right? So that's definitely something we're not going to see, especially that they know how to, each other, you know, both teams know how they play. They both respectfully trust each other enough that if it is still in there, that's something that's not going to happen. So let's hope that if it's still in there, it won't be brought out tonight.
Mm-hmm. We see like a difference between the two teams of just a Jet and a Reyna like swap from both sides. Uh, what would you say would be a better pick for like um, this map specifically, Reyna or Jet for these two teams?
So typically, for entries, you would either see a raised or a jet, or both on the same team. Sometimes teams are opting out to get another sentinel, another controller. So in this case, if I had to choose between one entry, I would go with jet, just because jet's versatility with coming up and going up in the air, being able to dash. Her kit is a little bit more viable for her team versus Reyna, who's her. It's pretty much a self kit. You know, you kill somebody, you get a orb back to heal, or you could just phase in and out to see where your opponents are. So it's not really helping the team. With Jet, you get a little bit more of that team play with her. So I would have gone with Jet.
Mm-hmm. We see our USF white team pushing up towards A. We have two of our USF green teams moving through mid, probably going for the rotate towards the flank. We have two cookies taking out Bombaclad on the top left part of the map. We have a double rotate from the back. I feel like this flank might be very detrimental to USF white, as now it's a 3v5. Fight between Lei and Hasabi. Hasabi takes it. Gelato goes down. It's a 2v3 right now. Both teams are playing very slow. Viper's moving towards B, hopefully watching for the rotate. The Viper on USF White going for the switch, hopefully going for a rotate. They might be baiting the rotate, if anything. Toxin screen down. Also, you were saying about like how USF how Viper got a nerf. Why do both teams like seem to want to be using this character?
30 seconds left.
Even if she is nerfed at the moment, her wall is still viable on places like Breeze and Icebox, where they could put up their wall.
iWolf with a perfect shot, taking it down 2 players through mid. It's a good round for USF Green.
Yeah, and you gotta like what they was going. You're gonna see when White is playing, they like to play cautiously. IGL Ducky over here, he's gonna tell his teammates, listen, we know their aim is good. Let's play it patiently. Eventually, they're gonna start getting irritated and wanna peek. That's the thing that white team is going to differ from the green team. And again, going back to what I said originally, we're going to be looking at those clutch plays. You had 2 walking up mid. Would have worked out if it wasn't for the fact that the white team was just way more alert. They had the man advantage. Honestly, you're going to see this repeatedly, and hopefully maybe green team can find a way to counter that. Hopefully they'll catch that on early.
Yes, and again, another A push by USF White. Hopefully they will be able to take off the first pick in order to get the first blood. We have Viper and Sova actually watching for the flank as their Sage is moving, holding their mid for any rotate. Amazing
nice
shot by
pick.
USF. 2 cookies on Squirt.
One down.
USF 4K Anderson taking out USF Lei, making it a 4v4. And then the rotate is going through down from bottom mid to left towards B.
And again, you're gonna see this patient play from Ducky. Honestly, the wall goes up, but the fact that they put the molly down shows that the presence is there, and now they're gonna be playing scared. You're gonna see it from white team. They're gonna try to take advantage of this, but let's see if green team can actually pull off, get their aim straight. They should be able to hold this technically, since now white team has to be the one to come up front to try to go ahead and take back this defusal here.
Another great kill by USF Ducky, and that's another round for USF Green.
Again, those critical moments that we're going to be talking about all night. So what you saw there was just a textbook play. Honestly, just being able to hold that site. The name of the game is to hold the site. If you're defending, you hold the site on, especially on Icebox, which is so you can see now the changes on Icebox, how that new yellow box really changes the game. Because back then, when you used to be able to plant, you were able to hide behind the yellow box and be able to pretty much hold sight, have your opponents tiptoeing, figuring out, hey, where are they? And now, because of that new weird position, they're now going to have to figure out how they're going to be able to still be viable and play patient when the post plans happen.
Another great shot by Two Cookies on Sword. He's not being able to fight against this sniper that they've been having on this top part of A. A trade comes through, though.
And you gotta like what Cookies is doing here. He's trying to hold it as much as he can, but he needs his help from his team.
Great shot. Now it's a 2v4 from USF Green to USF White. The plant will go down. USF Green going for the rotate right now. Viper on the top part of A. Hopefully able to clutch this, but it seems like it will be around for USF White.
Yeah, and definitely the player to be watching on green team is 4K Anderson. As you can see, he definitely has those headshots coming in very crisp, very clean, and Ducky trying to do everything he can. But unfortunately, when you got 3v1 situation like that, it's better to just try to. At that point, also you got to realize you have to die, because if not, you're not gonna get the full round money there. If you stay alive, it's worth only doing it if you're holding an actual viable weapon, which unfortunately he didn't, so he had to take the L there. But it was a really, really good hold and retake from green.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to ask, as someone who used to play a lot of CS:GO, you could see like a lot of maps were like either offense heavy or defense heavy. What would you say about Icebox?
Right now, with the change, I believe that a defensive map at this moment, just because of that change. Back then, it used to be a very attack, but I think with the new changes that Riot has done to Icebox, it's definitely become a bit more of the defensive side.
Yeah, there's a fast rotate from USF Green. Do you think that's like very smart? I feel like it would have been a little bit smarter in order to like have someone at A to be more like aware if like the rotate could happen.
Yeah, and definitely you can see right here, the green team is going to be trying a bit here. They already know that they're there. They already planted the bomb. We already got majority of white coming in. This is going to be a very clutch situation for white if they can come out of this. Unfortunately, a bomb cloud takes down Gelato, and this is the type of fight we want to be seeing right now. Honestly, everybody's going down. We're now to a 4v2 situation. This should have been a round that white team should have been winning, but unfortunately they're going down like flies. Let's see what else they can do here.
Last player standing.
Yeah, that was the ult from USF Green. Didn't seem to go in their favor for this round. It doesn't seem like it was like used effectively like it would normally for the Viper ult.
Yeah, and those moments you gotta really think of it as if you were in their shoes. Those are the moments where you need your team to come out alive and say, hey, look, they're over here on the site. We really need to take the positions, take every corner, try to play the off angle there, and just try your best to get some picks off of there, because if you start taking them one by one, they start getting scared, and they start playing a little bit differently, which will make it easier for you to retake. But unfortunately, and fortunately for green team, they're doing a lot better. Now it's 2v2. We want to see if the momentum has shifted here for them and see if green can actually come on top.
Yeah, there seems to be like a half buy for USF Green right now, with some players having like Vandals and some players having like the Sheriff. This should be an interesting fight, especially with all the players pushing towards A. They have certain people holding the flank, but USF Green doesn't seem to be going for a flank movement.
Yeah, and going back to your initial statement, I mean, that's the great thing about Valorant. If you're feeling crispy, you go with Vandal. If you're feeling like your one-taps aren't there, the Phantom is the way to go here. Typically speaking, though, traditionally you would
Amazing
wanna go
shots from
Vandal
USF2
here.
Cookies getting taken out by Squirt.
Scanning ahead.
Another great shot from USF Lay, but being able to get traded out. iWolf taking out Paige.
Last player standing.
A 1v1
One
Viper
enemy remaining.
versus Squirt. Couldn't get the bait off. Another round to USF White.
And that was great. Unfortunately, a lot of bodies are going down, so that's going to be coming out of a chunk of their money there that they just earned. But it's looking very good now for Green. It does seem like the momentum has shifted over for them. That retake, unfortunately, wasn't going well for White there. And you could tell from some of the shots and challenges from the 1v1s they had, it does seem like White is a little skeptical. They seem a little bit off. So let's see if they're able to re-jump and retake from this fight that they just had.
You want to play?
Is there a reason that
Let's
they would
play.
like leave the bomb back there? Is there like a specific strategy that that's used for?
Honestly, it depends on what the team is trying to do. It could go either way for them in that aspect for that strat. As you can see, them pushing that was not a really smart idea.
We have people pushing out of A already. That was a fast rotate, especially after only one kill. USF Duckies getting a dink on the other Viper. Lay taking out Squirt. Gelato taking out Habibi. Gelato taking out Fork Anderson, but getting traded by Paige. It's another 2v3 for USF White.
Player standing.
1v3. Unable to clutch that round.
Yeah, and you really gotta see that this is what we're gonna be seeing all night. We're gonna see a little bit of tit and tat back and forth. It's 3v3 or 3v3. Sorry, 3 points piece for each team, and you're gonna see a lot that majority of the time, even though it does seem there might be a small skill gap, somehow White team will come back and make a strat to be able to, counter their disadvantages to the green team. I would say the main difference between the green and the white team is how well they can land their shots. But beyond that, it's anybody else's game for that point.
Yeah, as you were saying before, with like how similar the skill gap is between these two teams, as they play both the opposite spectrums of their play styles. 2 kills from USF White, USF Green down 3-5. They're getting the bomb plant is coming through. You got Reyna on the bottom part of the map going for a flank, actually rotating back to her team, probably going for a team set push. It's gonna be a hard retake for USF Green.
And you gotta love this play right here with the Viper ult here. Smart thing would do is to be playing inside, but unfortunately they find 4K outside.
They've made this a 2v3. Are they able to come back from this?
Player standing.
A 1v2. Not much time left on the bomb. This is going to be a very hard finish. Unable to clutch that round as well. USF White takes that round.
Last player standing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you would want in that situation, if you're in the Viper smoke, to stay playing in her ult. That's like one of the biggest things you should be doing. You should always have one person watching the flank outside the smoke, obviously, but the rest of the team should be inside. And honestly, it was a little sloppy play, but for Green, is what they needed to get the advantage. But this is not going to be the last time we're going to be seeing them back and forth. We're going to be seeing this a lot throughout the night. And one of the cool things is right now is that if you pay attention, Reyna might actually pull something out from the white team. Leia has been practicing her Reyna a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here.
A quick first blood by two cookies. 4K Anderson able to take out the Viper on USF Green. A revive from Sage. This fight between iWolf and Bombaclad, this is going to be a very interesting fight. Whoever gets top control of B site. Bombaclad is able to take him out. Hopefully other players will be checking their corners, because that's like the one thing I've learned playing like these types of games is checking your corners is like one of the main things that is like needed for these type of things.
Yeah, for sure. In an icebox, there's a lot of corners you got to be aware of. And again, with the new changes here, you got to be careful because now even in the backside where storage used to be, or its storage is still there, but now it's longer. It's not a tunnel anymore for people to walk through. You have to be careful with those corners because anytime anybody could get you. And as right now, I see Green possibly winning this. Square holding it down with the Chamber and the Vandal here, and Viper also playing the corners. They have to be careful with their flanks though here. I don't see any traps just in case. And we're getting the ult from iWolf, which is working out for them. And I think we're getting a white win here. 4-4.
A USF Green win here, and this is going to be their 4-4. Hopefully, we can see like another competitive aspect coming from this. This seems interesting so far. Like these teams are so evenly balanced. Every round to round, every other team wins. It's so like fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah, and you can see for a green team, Two Cookies is doing very well for himself, holding down the sites. He's usually getting the first initial picks here. I'm sorry, white team, Two Cookies. Sorry. We're gonna be mixing up a lot, so sorry if you're a little annoyed there, viewers. But kind of hard to remember both sides when both are USF. So it's gonna be they look a lot similar, and that's the problem too. You're gonna be seeing that they do a lot of things similarly. Green, although, is the only one I think are gonna have the sharper edge here with the aim.
The ult comes out from USF White Jet. Hopefully that they'll be able to use this to take over the side very quickly and efficiently.
In this moment, you definitely want to try to be holding. They should know that all of green is on site right now. White team needs to do a collective and hold and wait for the wall to go down. Try to let them YouTube dump here. And I like this play that Ducky's doing right now. Trying to use his ult as the advantage here. Make sure that green team doesn't push any further. And Paige gets the flank here. Amazing play by him. Let's see if Ducky can clutch this.
Yeah, it's a 1v2, but USF Ducky does have his ult being played right now. Gets the first kill. Does he know where the last person is to a close left?
Too much noise there. Paige knows where he's at. Oh, and Ducky wins that! What? The one tap with the gold. Amazing.
Come on. Clutch.
Oh my god, that was amazing play from USF Ducky. That was such a collective, like, calm placement of was his crosshair, the way he was playing, the use of the bait of the bomb.
Yeah, and you gotta love the fact that he actually pulled one out for the white team there. Now it's a 5-4, and it's gonna be really interesting. It might be a long night, so viewers, I hope you're ready because this might be a long one. I'm not kidding you when I tell you these teams are almost the same. It's really hard.
And as you were talking about before, especially with what you were saying about like how these teams are very like clutch playing teams, that was a very big clutch from Ducky. So would you say that would be seeing that like very often during these fights?
Unfortunately, I mean, if you follow the scene enough, you will see that like how certain teams you could predict here and there on that aspect. But for me, since I know these players, I've talked to them almost every day as the president. I'm always checking up on them. It's so hard, and that's what makes me so excited about this club, is that they are so similar that the gold team has to really be watching out for their positions next season because these kids really want it. They're hungry, and as you can tell, there's almost no difference between green and white, and you're gonna be seeing that for the rest of the night here as they keep playing. They're just gonna play to the end, and that's what you have to have when you play Valorant. Play to the end. You cannot give up simply just because you're outnumbered. And
Yeah.
just what we saw from Ducky on the white team. He's gonna keep making sure that happens.
Yeah, I agree. Giving up like so early on is just like not a good way to think about how to play. Ducky about to get the flank, possibly.
And you like this lurk from Paige here. If he does it well enough, he might be able to the advantage to green team. Oh, does he know about this? Yes, he does. Paige gets the pick of a Ducky. Now he gives his green team an advantage to see if he can win this. 9 seconds left. They have to plant the bomb here.
Now it's back to a 2v2 for K. Anderson, seeing if he can get a pick on this next bomb site.
Last player standing.
Page getting taken down, the ult getting taken down. Now it's a 2v1 against 4K Anderson.
One enemy remaining.
1v1. Amazing one tap from 4K Anderson. Let's see if he is able to take out this Sova. And that's the next clutch round that we were looking for, especially from USF Green. Back-to-back clutch rounds from white to green. I guess you're right with what you were saying in the beginning of the game, where you said these clutch plays are going to be like the main benefactor for both these teams.
For sure, and that makes me so happy because I was about to say, I didn't want to interrupt you, that I would never bet against 4K Anderson. Shout out to him going 12-7. He really will be the difference maker for green team. Those clutch moments, and again, like how I said it in the beginning, there's not going to be a real clear difference for anybody until those clutch moments. And as you can see there, Anderson played it cool. He kept walking it. You don't have to make noise. As the attacker, as the bomb planner, you don't want to make noise. Noise is key here. And as long as they got their headsets, you know, that's all they're going to have to be able to tell.
Another push from USF Green towards the A site. Not being, was it 2 cookies not being able to get a kill, but USF Green does get the first 2 picks of the game. Now it's a 3v2, and it's possibly going to be a retake after they plant the bomb right here.
Yeah, and I really like this patient play by Wolf. He's waiting for his team to come in. He really needs to give more intel for his team, though. Maybe pull out the drone if he has it. But right now, there looks like the team is on pistols, so they gotta play patient here. They gotta play the eco right. Try to take off a gun off of them. Unfortunately for Wolf, he won't be able to do that.
And now it's a 1v5 for USF Ducky. He's clutched once before. Are we able to see it again?
I mean, he's clean with it. Let's see. Oh, he does not check 4K Anderson. The timing. That's another big thing about Valorant too. The timing is so important. Sometimes you think that no one's going to push. You think that no one's going to clear that corner. And the timing will always get you. The timing in this game is almost like karma. She will always find you when you are slipping. And that's what you're going to be seeing. I guarantee you we're going to see a 6v6 right now. I mean, 6-6. We're going to enter the next half with it being tied just because that's how close these teams are. And honestly, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, see the white team, how they go about the attack.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who comes out on top on this map. It would be so interesting to see like how long this game goes.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it go to best of 3 just because these two teams, they're ferocious, man. They want it. They're hungry. And Leia finally gets the clutch first blood here. And white team now has the man advantage, 5v4. Hopefully, we actually see something from Jalal here as well. He's really being keen on peeking that. And I think it might work out for him. He sees Paige soon.
Yeah, that first pick was also so key because like Reyna didn't lose much life off that, and they were able to get away with it. And now USF Green is gonna have to find a way in order to come back from this. Probably a rotate through the left side of the map towards B. USF White has a good hold on this though for this side with 2 cookies on the new yellow box on the B side.
Yeah, and I like this position 2 cookies is holding here. He's just gonna have to wait. Unfortunately, that box used to be slanted, so it was a lot easier to peek into that lane right there. But now he's gonna have to be very careful here. A squirt goes off from the rotate, and honestly, I don't see that. Green team might just should come back to A site, and they do in fact come back into A site with 10 seconds left. They only need 4 seconds to plant the bomb. Gelato unable to get off the pick here, but he does go in. Oh, and he gets. Oh, and white.
Now it's USF White 3-4. Now it's back to 3-3. USF lead with another kill. USF 2 cookies with the square. One more kill to finish off this round. Now it's a 1v1.
Here comes the clutch moment I talk about.
The use of this ult is making it so 2 cookies can't hold onto the site. Is he going to be able to get the ninja?
Pros don't fake. Pros don't fake. 6-6. Oh my god, that's awesome. Love to see it. Love to see that happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna be to the that we're gonna figure out green or white is gonna win.
So now it's the switch sides, correct? Yeah. So it's gonna be the first start of the pistol round. We'll see how USF White takes over playing as the offense, as they were so good on defense, but obviously it was even between both teams. Do you think?
Yeah, and it's just you're just gonna see that until the very end. Honestly, like you're going to see that every moment is gonna count for each team until the very moment that they plant the bomb. We will not see the clear winner.
We're seeing a heavy push by USF White towards A. I think they're trying to get the first blood because that's always like the best chance in order to win each round. Not able to get a kill on that specific kill. Fork Anderson taking out Ducky with the sheriff. Lay trying to stay with his life with only 22 health remaining.
Yeah, and you're gonna see right now, Squirt's gonna try to get off as much as he can here, and Green Team is starting to fall apart here. Let's see how they do to recuperate from this.
Yeah, now it's a 3v2 from USF Green to USF White. Are they able to take care of this? Are they able to clutch this round like they did in so many other rounds?
And I'm wondering if Cookies is trying to fix his DPI there as he goes back and forth. But honestly, you're gonna have to play patient here if you're a White Team. You have the man advantage. You just need to make sure you go ahead
30 seconds
and
left.
win this.
I think they were using the was it a fake rotate to possibly go through, and now they have players not looking onto A site anymore. All they need is this pick and then the bomb plant, and they're good to go.
Last player standing.
One player gone. Now it's a 1v2 for 2 Cookies. And as you said, you can't count him out, but Bombclad able to take him out right before he's able to try to even clutch this round.
Yeah, great for a Green Team there. They were able to withstand the force of the Green Team coming in, taking out majority of their numbers, but they were able to hold on for 2 and get the win here. You gotta love what the Squirt's doing as well to try to hold on to sight. It's gonna be a matchup here, and I think that White might just have the plays to outplay them here. This is not their first rodeo when it comes to Icebox, and I know that each of them, at least for the White Team, they do come up with a lot more strats to overcome certain situations. So the name of the game here is to make sure that if you could get the numbers early on, you get the bomb plant as soon as you do. Because if not, the rotates are just going to come in and destroy your whole plan. And we got to see if White can actually maintain and get all those kills just in time.
Yeah. Also, in the bottom left corner, we were able to see that 2 Cookies was messaging in the team chat that he was actually lagging. There's like I think he has an over 100 ping. I hope that doesn't like affect their score tremendously during the next couple rounds. The first pick from Habibi on USF Ducky. USF Ducky known to be clutching in these type of environments. Hopefully that doesn't be detrimental to USF White.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, hopefully the ping doesn't really affect them, and hopefully it goes back to normal. Unfortunately, right now, Riot hasn't made a standard client where you can play this on LAN, and there'd be no real ping issues here. So right now, they're playing probably off of this service of Georgia or probably Virginia, and we might see a little bit of technical delay here. Hopefully, it's not too much where it's going to affect either team from clutching a moment here.
Squirt doesn't actually see the person that went up top crate.
30 seconds left.
Shots going off towards B. Whoever is able to get this first pick probably will take the round.
Yeah,
Fork Anderson taking out iWolf in mid.
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Green is going to have that option here.
Planted.
Flawless round from USF Green. What is something you would say that USF White needs to work on for this next round?
Right. So for White Team now, the move of the game right now is to make sure that you could get the momentum back. It does seem like Green does have it back, and I'm sorry for that last comment. It was White Team that didn't seem like they were having that advantage in that moment. And again, sorry for our viewers. We're gonna go back and forth saying green and white. It's not as easy as another team from another college, so it's gonna be a little confusing. So sorry about that. But what white needs to really focus on right now is to get the momentum back, get those numbers down as early as possible. That way they can get onto site and plant and be able to hold that site easily. If the numbers are the same at the start of the plant, it's gonna be tough for white team to be able to win that round.
Yeah, and again, Two Cookies was messaging about another ping issue going from 100 to 150. I feel like it's going to be very detrimental to USF White at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen. Some of our players do live on campus, and unfortunately, for some reason, Valorant is a little weird on campus. They sometimes have to use VPNs to make it work. So hopefully now with the space we might have soon, or will have soon, we could start having these games in person with more reliable internet here on campus. But unfortunately, we got to work with what we work with, right? It's not their fault for this, so hopefully it'll work out for them. As Two Cookies does get a pick though, we're good. Funny enough,
iWolf taking down Mama Clad from mid.
Enemy down.
We be taking down USF Ducky, but getting traded by Two Cookies,
Last player standing.
having lots of internet problems, but able to take care of certain players being able to get trades.
Spike planted.
USF White takes round 15.
yes, 15,
Yeah.
15, and it won't be the last because we don't be surprised if White ends up taking another round, and it'll be 8 and 8 apiece.
Yeah. Also, you're
and
talking
again-
about the internet issues, and like I hope that like it really doesn't affect the way they play for the next few rounds, because Two Cookies was a very like influential part of this USF White team, especially with the picks he was getting, the fights he was creating. It was so useful, and I hope that like it doesn't detriment this team.
You want to play?
Yeah, especially that he's
Let's
playing
play.
Chamber is super useful. He does get a sniper without spending any real money. That's just his util. So hopefully, if his ping is, and it looks great because he
Amazing
just got to
shot.
pick off Anderson with the ult. So we're gonna hopefully see that he continues that for the white team.
Spotted out by Bombaclad. Let's see if they assume that they're going to be flanking, it seems. With Sova pushing towards the mid, probably going to get a fight between him and Viper. The fight goes to Ducky, killing Bombaclad. This is now a 5v3 in the favor of USF White.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you need if you're USF White. Hopefully they can clear Squirt out if they try to end up winning this. But it does look like Green might be able to pull something on, as I say that, it goes to 5v1. But exactly what I was saying earlier in the game, they need to get that number advantage if White team wants to take numbers off of them. And it looks like this round might just go to White.
A great shot from Two Cookies to kill Habibi. We saw that USF Ducky was like gaining control of mid-map, trying to take care of certain players that were like pushing through. Was able to get 2 picks off during that period of time, also with knowledge of where the Sage was at the end of the round.
Yeah, and that just amazing play right there. I know right now if I was Ducky trying to control and lead this team, he's telling them, hey, listen, we gotta get the number advantage early on. We'll do whatever it takes. We'll try to get some sneaks in. We'll try to get some flanks in. And unfortunately, it's been working out for them. Let's see if Green can actually take this back. I know they can. I'm sure they've already picked it up from now. And 4K Anderson getting aggressive, which it might be the answer to stop White from doing this.
Yeah, but the recon bolt stopped him in his tracks. Hopefully, he'll be able to use this jet ult in order to get a victory for USF Green.
And you're going to want to watch 4K Anderson here as he hopefully gets some picks off of here for Green Team and try to hold them off while they rotate.
Spike planted.
Fork Anderson not able to use the jet ult to its full advantage. USF White to USF Green, 5-3. iWolf one shot though, so it's not seeming too well for USF Green.
Player standing.
4-1. Yeah, those type of clutches probably won't happen as often. Would you say like a 4-1?
I don't think so. Honestly, it's just going to be 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Honest, because if you see right now what's going on, now they're using the plays that they've drawn up. And again, like I said, I hear these players a lot and watch and read their discussions. They're using right now tactics that they've come up with, or especially Ducky, who is the IGL, are going to come up with plays to counter the green team when they've played them so many times. And you also got to realize they scrim with them a lot, so they already know how much they kind of, or how their play style is. So green, if I was green right now, if I was the IGL right now for green, they need to make sure that the numbers are still there when they get the plant. That's the number one key for them if they want to take this back. They need the momentum back. They need their players back. They need everyone to focus up here.
Also, as you were saying that you were the Valorant president, so you know both the IGLs and like how they play. What would you say, like, how would you explain their roles to someone that doesn't really understand what that is?
For sure, IGL is for sure. For long is in-game leader. So in-game leader. Pretty much think of it as like a captain. Think of it as quarterback in football. Pretty much they come up with the plays on the fly. If things aren't going the way they're supposed to, they got to come up with time a different approach how they want to go on to get on the site.
Amazing use of the abilities from Paige. Habibi taking out another player. Fork Anderson taking off USF 2 cookies. Now it's down to iWolf and Ducky in order to clutch this round.
30 seconds left.
I wouldn't bet against Ducky being able to clutch this.
Never. Unlucky ding from Ducky, not able to take out the Sage. That's one of the things that I've been seeing with the Phantom is like those dings don't actually ever like kill sometimes.
Yes, so for sure, if you're not a frequent Valorant player, Phantom is like the M4 in the, if you play CSGO or even COD, you know, there's always that one gun that really doesn't do the damage initially to the head, but after a couple more shots to either to the head or to the body, the second shot will usually land. It will be the clear indicator for the kill, essentially. So Vandal is the one-shot headshot. Phantom, you need more than one bullet to actually make the kill.
Amazing pick from Fork Anderson onto USF Ducky. As we've known to see USF Ducky as the white clutch factor, he's now been taken out. USF green 4-3 to USF white. They seem to always like push towards the point even though they're down on numbers. Is there a specific reason you would say why they would like have this play call?
Just because it will pretty much get the other team to start thinking, okay, what are they? It's almost like a place to hide in case you are just trying to wait it out, trying to wait for your IGL to give you a direct command. It's more so it's like a safe place for them.
Yeah, perfectly said, because they are able to come back to this now, making it a 2v2 from a 3v4 situation. What 2v1 situation? We'll see. Can we see if 2 cookies can take this team out?
30 seconds
Again,
left.
another clutch factor from USF White. See if it's possible.
And we're going to be looking at how Cookies is able to play this. He has to be a little bit quicker here. He's only got 15 seconds left. If he's smart enough, he's going to start getting aggressive here.
Unable to assume where the Viper was, Paige was able to take him out before he was able to kill the other, other operator.
And you know, nice try from Cookies there. It's a 1v2 situation. You really don't know where everyone is. You gotta hope that maybe one of them peaks, get the advantage to take it to a 1v1 with 15 seconds left. There wasn't much that he could do. In that case, if I was him, I would just save, you know, have it for the next round. But unfortunately, now they're going to be a little bit more broke here. And white team, it only needs one more to tie this up yet again.
Interesting play call from USF White. They were set for A, but now moving towards B. Hopefully able to take the first pick, getting the first blood on that Viper, working towards the mid to kill Sage and getting the bomb plant down.
Welcome to my world.
Viper out,
here,
coming
you
out.
really got to be careful.
USF late taking down Paige. Habibi trying to do his best, trying to kill whoever's on site inside the Viper ult.
Spike planted.
We see Squirt on the top part of B trying to get it the pick he needs to have. A very slightly missed shot from the op. Squirt taking down USF Gelato. USF Ducky taking down Habibi. No trade so far. Ducky taking down Bomba Cloud. That's 2 kills for Ducky this round. Fork Anderson not able to kill him off. Probably going for a save.
Last player standing.
And then Fork Anderson going for the save of the op, trying to make sure that he's able to keep it for the next coming rounds.
Yeah, and when you go back, then my initial suggestion, which was to save if you have that, if you don't have the man advantage. Good try from Anderson there. Hopefully he could have gone on a pick there, maybe, weaken their economy. But fortunately for white team, they did make the play on time. They had the man advantage. They were able to get the bomb plant and really use that ult to their advantage. Ducky doing great in his ult. The team was able to take initiative, take control of the space, and that's the thing that they need to do as the attackers. They need to control the space in order to wait for the bomb plant to go off. They need to buy that time, and they did a great job at doing that.
These two teams have seemed to be so like consistent about one round then the next round, like always
down
improving every round of how they're playing, as they're still tied up 10-10 from the beginning of the round, always going 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Yeah, and again, this is just going to be a frequent thing we're going to continuously see. There's not much we can take from their actions because they almost look like a mirror. They almost look like they're looking at each other in the mirror because essentially they're playing both the same. And look at Ducky getting aggressive, getting that first pick, but he's not getting hesitant here, but he gets taken down. And if you see, and you go back to the last few rounds, the same exact thing would happen. You would get Anderson trying to get aggressive, try to get those plays off, and because he turns around, the timing gets him. It's just going to be a lot of back and forth here. It's going to be really, really great to see what's going to happen before the 12-12.
Yes, sir. And USF Green does get 2 picks off USF White. Now a third. It's going to be a hard retake for USF White to take over A and get the plant bomb down. Would you say like a save would be more of an
30
order
seconds
at this
left.
point from a 4v2?
I got to say, yeah, I do like the chances of that.
Last player standing.
Not able to take off one of the players from USF Green. USF Green comes out with the win. USF White, what do you think they need to improve on for next round?
So tough, man.
Can someone get this?
Essentially,
Thank
they're
you.
taking advantage of disadvantage they're giving. And what if you will notice during these games is that every little space, every little opening white team gets free, they will use that to their advantage. And vice versa from green. Anytime someone makes a small mistake, they will capitalize on. That's what these teams do so great. It's just that they're able to notice
You want to
and they
play?
take advantage
Let's
of
play.
the other team.
Yeah, I agree. These teams seem so competitive. Like there's not a lot of like casual mistakes that are being made by either team. This is such a like a professional looking match, but so even as well.
Yeah, and you gotta understand both of these teams are low players in this league. So for them, a really, really great show of their talents, their raw energy and their raw tenacity to be able to still, even if they're down by 1, even if they're down by 2, they come back and get that momentum back forward.
Great 2 kills from Paige, taking down 2 players from USF White, taking down their clutch factor Ducky. This is going to be a hard retake for USF White to take over USF Green with a 5-3 disadvantage. USF White actually coming back from this, now making it a 2v1.
Spike down A.
Let's see if Paige... USF White able to clutch back that round from a 3v5 to a 2v1.
Yeah, and an amazing play from Leia, or her, her gamer tag Lee. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. She's probably one of our proudest members here on the Valorant Club. We love to see more diversity here. And for the fact that she has chosen a role that's very hard. She used to play on the laptop. So for her to be able to do all this, it's nothing short of a feat for her. Being able to hold it down with cookies there, it was very, very, very technical round, if you will, from our Reyna.
Yeah, as you were saying, Lei playing Reyna being a very hard position to be playing. She's pulled out the ult, playing very aggressive on B site. Let's see if she's able to get the first pick for USF White.
And she does.
And she does. 4K Anderson able to trade her off. USF Green doesn't seem to be as aggressive as USF White was that round, specifically probably for the Reyna ult.
They're trying to find any way they can squeeze in any mistake that White can commit.
Missed shots from 4K Anderson, being able to trade it out by Squirt, but 2 cookies does take out Squirt. Now it's a 2v3 for USF Green.
And you gotta like this ult
Player
here.
standing.
Let's see if the clutch factor Bombaclad is able to take care of USF White.
Shock dart.
Unable to take care of it, USF White is now at match point from 12 to 11.
Match point.
So,
And you got-
what is if they are to tie up the round, what is the rule set for that?
If the teams do end up making a tie here, they have to go into overtime where the first
A gift.
two, or whichever team gets to the first 2 points end up winning the whole game.
Do you think that they will be able to tie it up as they have so far?
I'm a betting man, and I can't even bet on who's gonna win this. I think White's gonna win it, but at the same time, I think Green just might upset this and take this to overtime. Either way, I'm here for it. I think all of our viewers are as well.
I liked how Bombaclad was very like aggressive with that first push towards like their was it CT T side spawn.
Spawn.
Yeah, sorry. Hopefully
Yeah,
that they'll be able to take over A site properly. They have Jet holding down mid, Viper trying to hold any rotation through mid. They have USF Green's Viper and Sentinel being able to hold B side. Habibi with the first pick on to USF White.
You will not kill my allies.
The res going through. I think this is going to be the first time that all 5 are going against the other 5 on a specific site. The rotate going through from bottom T side.
Poison orb emitting.
Spike down. Attacker spawn. 30 seconds left.
USF Ducky probably going to get the first 2 picks. Not able to find them before Habibi takes him out. 2 Cookies has control of A side spawn right now, with only Sova and the Sage pulling up right now. First pick goes to 2 Cookies on A side.
10 seconds left.
You're USF White. You gotta play this smart and patiently here. Lots of movement here on screens.
Another amazing shot from 2 Cookies. Habibi and Page taking out 2 more players. Now it's all on 2 Cookies. Another clutch up from USF Green. As you were saying that they do mimic each other, they are now back to 12 to 12.
And we are going to overtime. Definitely love to see this. And the amazing thing about this is that not only are they still learning from each other's mistakes, they're realizing that, man, we are very equal to each other. Now it's almost like if they're playing themselves, how would you beat yourself? At this point is now the question for both teams. If I was playing on the other side, how would I try to defeat myself from there? And that's going to be the interesting factor for these next 2 rounds. Remember, the next team that wins it two straight in a row will win the match.
Right here. Right here.
Are we going to be able to see a Bombaclad line up, have a lineup for A side?
Right here.
I know he's been working on his Sova lineups for a while, so I think definitely we might see something interesting here. I wouldn't hold it against him.
Not able to spot 2 cookies. A fast rotate from all the players from mid towards A.
Don't resist.
Pick from Squirt. Another pick from USF Lay to trade him out. 2 cookies getting taken out by Habibi. The plant going down by Paige.
Spike planted.
Habibi trying to go for its 2nd kill. Lay not being able to give it to him. Habibi taking out USF Lay. Now it's a 4v2. But we always know about these 2 teams that clutching is possible, especially with USF Ducky on your team.
Yeah, you definitely gotta like the move right here for white team, but unfortunately they do fall to green. So now green has to win one more in order to close this out. But again, I would not doubt that the white team can pull something out and we go into a 2nd overtime.
So on the 2nd overtime, is it whoever wins that round wins?
So essentially, whoever wins the 2nd round, if it's the one who won last round, it's over. And if it's the team that wins it, then it goes to a 2nd overtime.
Here.
Would you say like this game is all about the first bloods at this point? Whoever gets that first blood will be a very like effectful like kill for each team?
Yeah, for sure. At this point, the strats and everything else is out of the window until they get that first pick there, just like Leia did. So it might be going to white this time.
Yeah, USF White pushing very hard onto the A side. 4K Anderson taking out USF Ducky. The plant going down. USF Lay taking out another player, Squirt. 4K Anderson not able to trade it just yet. 2 cookies taking out Anderson. Page taking out 2 cookies. Now it's just a 2v2 USF White versus USF Green.
One enemy remaining.
Another perfect take from USF White, and that is the round. Now it's a tied, and we're going to overtime too.
And just like I said, there's no real way to predict. I can't tell you if you stand me here and tell me which team is going to win. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And that's the beauty of this game right now. It's up to anybody. If you have the clutch maker gene, just like Leia did, and actually be able to take out all those opponents before your team is able to rotate, you have a good chance of winning that, no questions asked. And for the white team, you got to ask yourself, okay, so what did we do wrong on our defensive side that can make us win this round?
Yes, of course. And as you were saying, again, these teams are so evenly matched. I'm so interested to see who's going to win, who's actually going to take the first map.
Yeah, we might be here for a while, and we might be here for a good time, and maybe for a long time, because these teams are definitely, nobody wants to give up. Nobody's wanting to go home with the L tonight. So it's going to be very interesting to see who actually has the bigger. Right now, it's all about who has the bigger power in themselves right now to be able to pull this win out.
Do you think with the new updates that happened to Icebox on the B side that that's the reason that USF like Green has been more preference towards A, in specific towards B?
Yes, I do believe so. I think that's something that they've discussed a lot in their chat. That I know their IGL has spoken to me about how they feel like Icebox. It's really hard to go B. It's almost impossible to go to B with winning that.
Perfect take from 2 cookies, especially getting out of there alive with all his health and armor.
Spike planted.
Not able to get traded. That ability is so useful, especially with like getting out of like very hard situations. Page taking out USF Lay. 2 cookies trading out Page. Shots going out by Square, not being able to take someone else's head off yet. Another kill from 2Ks. He's on a 3 streak. Being traded out by Bombaclats. Now it's a 2v1. iWolf taking it out. Now it's USF White at the advantage.
And now if you're USF
Switching
White,
sides.
you're going to be thinking,
Match
okay,
point.
what is it that we did right the previous overtime that got us the win in that round? And if you're green, you got to think of this as, okay, what did we do wrong that is going to guarantee us the win to get us into a 3rd overtime? And just for the viewers back at home, so they understand it goes until there's a winner. So
Yeah.
if they're gonna stay on Icebox for the next hour, they will have to stay on Icebox for the next hour. So now it's gonna now also be considering who has the more stamina here,
Poison orb
who is
emitting.
willing to go to the lengths just to get the first map off.
Oh, I didn't even know that, and I'm worried about this game going forever, especially seeing how good these two teams are, especially against each other.
Yeah, and you gotta love it. And as the president, I'm really loving what I'm seeing, just because it just shows how small the gap is. A lot of people ask, "Hey, what is it? Does it take? Does rank matter when you try out for the team?" I'm telling you right now, it does not. Rank is only a symbol, and what they show here is their real skill here.
A nice take from two Cookie Square, not being able to tell where he was at that point. This is probably going to be a fast rotate towards B. They still have two players towards A, probably trying to go for both picks. Page taking out USF Ducky, making the push towards B a little bit slower. Then going down. Page went for the Ninja Diffuse. Not able to get it. Now it's 3v2, USF white to USF green. 4K Anderson taking out two Cookies. Now it's a 2v2. Are they able to clutch up this round?
Last player standing.
Not able to take care. USF white takes the round and takes the game.
I am so impressed. You don't even understand. I think the viewers at home right now are even shocked as well. How they just won that 4 themselves. Now white team has one up on the green team, and this is going to be green team's last chance at being able to take a 1 record point off of their ECAC record. It might just it might I don't know. Honestly, if the things go the way I've been seeing them go, we just might see a best of 3, a third map coming in. Honestly, and I'm kind of here for it because that's going to be very interesting for them.
Yeah. Also, what we were talking about is like they were such a mirrored team, like how they were playing so far and like how long these games are gonna go. I was gonna ask you like what are some like differences that you could see between the team, but I really can't see like any big differences visually from what we were watching from these games, especially with them going back to back to back on each round. But like from a player's perspective and a captain like leadership perspective that you have on these teams, what are some certain things that you could like specify?
Yeah, so for sure, I'm gonna go all night saying that how they look alike, but obviously they're two different teams with two different characters of set of people. You got Ducky Dan on the IGL for white team, and you got Anderson 4K, who's been an amazing prospect for us this season and semester. That I hope to see him improve more on his IGL skills. Um, of course, what we're gonna see a difference is who decides what on the right time, right? It's almost like it's an RNG for both of these teams because on one side you have a more experienced IGL like Ducky who's done this already for 2 semesters, who kind of knows what to do in certain situations, and you also got 4K Anderson who's a smart cookie. He knows the plays. He watches pros play all the time. He tells me all the time how he's always trying to learn something new from everybody, from the best Sentinels, 100C, all those guys up there. He's always trying to implement that into his games and for his team. So what's really going to matter here at the end of the day is how fast can they make these commitments? How fast is the team going to rotate? How fast can they really think over their opponents? Because also at the end of the day, FPS shooters also you need to take in consideration that you got to outplay your opponent. You can't be playing checkers. Sometimes you can't be playing chess. Sometimes you really have to go for that 3D.
Yeah, you couldn't said it better than me. I like the way they were playing. The way they were playing was really like well placed. Especially since their last game, I watched USF Green. I think it was with Squirt, if I'm not mistaken. I watched their team play against one of the other teams that they were playing during the season, and they played very well. And every player on their team was playing the position that they needed to play. Each player had their clutch moments that was necessary, and each player was doing what they had to do each round for each game mode, for each game. And so it was interesting to see, and I was happy to like see it being produced here as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be something you're going to see constantly throughout all 4 of our teams if you happen to be casting for any of their teams as well. The thing about all 4 of these teams and my players, and I like to say my players just because They make me feel very, very like I'm an org, like if I'm the head honcho, because they really do come to me for a lot of things. So I really appreciate that because they know I'm always open ears for them. But the one thing you're always gonna see is that they find ways to come in the end to be able to come and take the round off of each other. And the other thing is too, you got to realize all teams are always talking to each other, so they're always going to be screaming against each other. Gold has played Storm the other night, and yeah, because there's a rank difference, you would think that there's going to be a huge turnout of like a 2-0, but in reality, these teams don't go down without a fight. They go down without taking a point off of you, and if you let them win, they will take it away from you. So this is going to be something you're going to be seeing throughout the semester. And I really do see at least one, if not two, of our teams making it to the end to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be going into map 2, which I'm pretty sure is Haven. And we will take a short break until then, and we'll see you as soon as the round starts. We are back with map 2. We are playing on Haven. I was about to say Valorant. We're playing on Haven. What are your thoughts about this map? I know this is the ABC bomb site map. Like, is it like a very offense or defense heavy map?
Well, first and foremost, I'm actually really interested to see why white team picked away. As most people know in the Valorant community, Haven's a really tough map. Again, considering that there's 3 sides, you got one, B side being the mid. You got 3 different lanes. In those 3 different lanes, you got ways to access it in 2 different ways. So it's going to be very interesting to see how both teams hold these sites. But typically speaking, Haven isn't a attack-sided map. So I'm really interested to see who's our entry or who are going to be our heroes, the fraggers in this match.
Also, sorry, you cut out a little bit. What was the thing about USF White that was surprising for you?
Yeah, so it was surprising for me that this white team is actually picking Haven as their map because Haven is notoriously known to be a really hard map. Honestly, it's going to be really the deciding factor will be who does well in attacking side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like on average, what would you say is like the highest attacking part of the map? Would you like say A side?
So that's the thing. It all depends on the momentum the team decides to go for. So you could always start round 1 going on A because that's just usually the bread and butter. But if you want to throw them off, you could go C because usually you'll always have one person holding C. So it's a very mixed bag. It's almost 50-50 when it comes to which is the side people like to go to.
And here we see a upcoming gunfight on the A site. BB taking a little bit of damage, but not enough to take care of the kill. Is there a reason you would say that they're playing kind of slow-ish for this first starting pistol round?
Yeah, for sure. It's pistol round. You don't want to hesitate, just like what Bumbleclaw did. You want to take that initiative. You want to be able to take those picks off first. But you also want to be careful because if there's a whole team stacking, you don't want your whole team to push on. You really want to make sure that if you're going to push this, you're sure about what you're going to do next.
Yeah, also there's like a lot of different like starting pistols that you could use for this round. Shoddy, the Frenzy that Bombaclad was using, Ducky taking out Bombaclad, Lay taking out Habibi, Squirt taking out Ducky, the Clutch Factor taking out Lay, Wolf, 3-peat for Squirt.
Last player
2 cookies stopping that aggression from Squirt. Now it's a 1v1. Chambers being very low at this point in time.
I have the spike.
Paige playing it very slowly. 2 cookies faking the plant.
10 seconds left.
Catching Paige off guard even though he was low. That was a good round from USF White. But
yeah, you gotta love that patience that he's had, like making sure he can grab the bomb. No unnecessary movements that he needs to do. No unnecessary noise he needs to make. Also, you also gotta look what Paige is doing. He's being very patiently, and it was just at that point just who had the better aim. Cookies came up on top. There's no wrongs that they could have done there. Something else they could have done better, pretty much.
And also, what I was going back to before was like the pistols that were being used during those rounds. There's so many options. Why would someone like switch up what they're using? Like, would it be like the recoil from the bullets? Would it be like the sound that the ghost makes in comparison to like the preference, like the regular starting pistol?
Yeah, of course. So pretty much every pistol does are not the same. You're gonna want one that's gonna be able to entry well with you, one that's gonna be able to spray. You know, there's always gonna be different options depending on what your goal is. And in this case, if you're the entry, you really want a fast-moving, more accurate gun, and that's why sometimes you might want to go with a frenzy. It's always guaranteed one, as they would say in the Valorant community.
USF White being able to take over C site. It's going to be a hard retake from USF Green. Fork Anderson taking off the first one, taking out the second one. 2 cookies, 2 more remaining, making this a 2v2.
Last player standing.
USF Ducky not being able to clutch it. All right. USF Ducky, the clutch factor from the white team, being able to protect the bomb site. 2 cookies was Fork Anderson almost taking care of the entire USF white team that round.
Yeah, you gotta love what 4K Anderson did there. He was really trying his hardest to hold that site. I mean, and sometimes I tell him, man, maybe you should change the name from 4K Anderson. I feel like that's a curse for him. Maybe that's all he's gonna be good for. When his aim is so crisp, he can definitely get those 5. But Ducky for sure was the clutch factor. He was able to stay calm, cool, and collected in that situation. And he was able to abuse the gun difference there and win the match. Or I'm sorry, one.
Nice shots from Bombaclad, being able to take out 2 cookies. Gelato taking out Page. This is now a 4v4. Fork Anderson having the opportunity to actually stay true to his name. A little banter in the messages to the left. Fork Anderson taking out the first one. Bombaclad taking out iWolf, making this a 4-on-2. You can never forget about Ducky, though. He is the biggest clutch factor that we've seen so far today from USF White. Being able to take care of these players. USF Lay being able to get taken down. Now it's a 1v3.
I have the spike.
Thrifty.
Unable to clutch that round. Score takes out USF Ducky, now making it a 1-2 to USF Green. I feel like that was good plays from USF Ducky. It was unfortunate that he wasn't able to clutch up that round, but obviously a 1v3 is very hard.
Yeah, for sure. But it's the thing, 1v3, you want to play smart. You don't want to give Ducky the advantage because they know from previous rounds you cannot give Ducky the slightest hint of hope, because if not, he will take that away from them. They played it smart, a little too passive. If you, one of them could have just gotten out, see where he is, more info, and bomb. But honestly, just a great job from Green, and tough luck from. But I know the last time.
A crazy 2-pick from Score, taking iWolf and Gelato. One was while he was blind. The information coming out from the Wolf. We'll see if Paige is able to take this information and take over the last 3 remaining players. Paige probably waiting for his teammate in order to go for the rotate. USF Lay able to take out Paige. Not knowing where Fork Anderson is. Fork Anderson able to take out Lay. We still have Ducky, though. And Ducky has been shown to be a very big clutch factor. Not able to check his corners.
One less.
USF took cookies. Able to take out Fork Anderson. Now it's a 1v3 situation.
A gift.
We already have a rotate, fast rotate 4C. We be able to take out 2 cookies, making this a 2-2.
And definitely It's going to be a tit and tat. It's going to be all game. You got to like what the green did there. They were able to stay cool, calm, collected there. White team just trying to take out as many as they can as well. It's honestly, it's a matchup that a lot of people have been wondering just because of skill gap. But honestly, I don't see a difference. We're going to be seeing this a lot more. The key maker that will happen for the green team is if they're able to hold this well enough. As long as they can hold, they can win half, but you got to do a better job at home.
Yeah, I agree. Was the one thing I wanted to talk about was with my background in FPS and like a slight background in CS:GO. The main thing I've learned in these games is to always check your corners. There's always someone playing in the nastiest corner that you would have never assumed, but it would always be there. And we see that time and time again with these Valorant games that like players aren't checking the corners that they need to be checking and being caught off guard. Is that something that like you need to improve on, or is that just like bad luck?
So it could be many things. A lot of people can blame it being bad luck. A lot of people can say, well, you just need to learn to be checking those corners. In those hot, heated moments, you're going to be thinking, okay, well, they definitely can't be hiding here. They know we're going to be pushing this. Sometimes not as easy as they're making it out to.
Squirt able to take out USF Lay. The push towards A still seems to be viable for USF White. As long as they're able to take out the first and second player that are holding over on top of A. An amazing kill from Ducky to Squirt and iWolf taking out Bombaclad. They're going to be able to get this bomb plant down. The three players have already rotated towards A. Let's see if they're able to clutch this round up. A 4v3 from white to green. A nice kill from Habibi to USF 2 cookies. Ducky able to take out Page. This might just be a round where Fork Anderson just agrees to just save his operator for the next upcoming rounds. Habibi able to take out one. Able to take out two on a 3-kill streak for Habibi. Not able to save the round. Habibi seemed to be doing very well this game. Is there like a big difference from this to last?
So you can understand too as well, like could really be the difference maker here, and especially you can see that happening in CS:GO as well. Depending on the map, sometimes the map really could be a difference. Like in CS:GO, does do the most historical known map to all FPS shooters, and man, pretty much a lot of people are comfortable with it because it's such a balanced map. Again, sometimes some people know a little bit more than the others and take advantage of the angles, or take advantage of the certain situation of how the map is laid out. Case Haven, very difficult map, which is why I still wonder why they picked it, but it seems to be working out.
Yeah, 2 kills from USF Lay, making this a 5v3, making a hard retake for USF Green. This should be USF White's round to win, but as we were talking about before, 4K Anderson and these other players from this green team are able to clutch these rounds very easily. We'll see if it works out for this round. 4K Anderson being able to being taken out by 2 cookies. Habibi taking out 2 cookies for the trade. Lay taking out Bombaclad. USF taking out Lay. Habibi not able to take out its mirror Gelato. That's another round to USF White.
Yeah, I'm really impressed right now with how Gelato and been handling it last round. iWolf clutched it for the white team. Now you see both and iWolf clutching it for the team. And they're doing what they can and taking advantage of what you can do as a Haven attack-sided team. Now it's only going to be the difference is going to be whether they can keep this up on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
They are so dead.
Fork Anderson trying to look for this first pick. Not able to get it. Gelato with a perfect headshot to 4K Anderson. Page trying to hold down the point. Gelato with their second kill of this round towards Page. A good round from USF White from Page. Gelato, sorry. Squirt having is the Jet ult ready and used. Not able to get the kill off Ducky. Looking for 2K. 2 cookies, my fault.
I didn't need to remember. It's all good.
Flawless.
You got 4K Anderson, and then you got 2 cookies playing the same character.
Yeah, that's the confusing thing about Valorant. Sometimes you think you know who you're watching just because they're playing one character, but then you forget sometimes they are playing the same character on the other side. But it can get confusing at times. It almost makes me laugh a little bit because at the same time, if you look at CS:GO, it's like, okay, well, you can see a clear difference who's terrorist and who's counter-terrorist.
Yeah.
With Valorant, it's the only difference is by color.
Yeah.
They're out.
Also, Page doesn't seem to be having like the greatest first 7 rounds to this so far, being 0-7. Do you think that will change for the playstyle that he has?
Yeah, I'm sure Anderson right now that it's all good. Calm, try to do his best. You know, there's still a whole mess of, you know, it's just try to shape up as much as you can.
Habibi and Gelato seem to be going back and forth with playing really well for each other's sides. Habibi being able to take out USF White's Gelato. It seems like they're playing for picks right now. Like they're waiting for the first pick in order to push forward. iWolf being taken down towards A site. They're probably going to move towards the C site. Jet moving towards B from A site. Would you say there's a reason they're playing it quite slow this round?
Sure, at this moment, they're trying to grab as many kills as they can. Specifically, just because it's just a one difference here. They're smart. They're trying to just hear any step they make in order to reveal their positioning. They're just trying to see where exactly can they take the next step.
One enemy remaining.
USF White not able to get a kill that round past the first one. It was a good round from USF Green. I feel like they were able to calmly and collectively like take down the entire USF White without losing too much like eco from like losing guns and stuff.
For sure, and the fact is, Green is now taking a different approach. They were confident in the beginning, which you'll probably see from both teams. They try to get confident in the beginning by showing who's boss first. You know, try to get those picks early. But since Green isn't getting that approach done, they're trying to just play patiently, play as smart as they can, try not to show too much, and effectively just let them in like mice to a cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just try to get them to get as close as they can, so that way they could take the fights, take the 1v1s, and be able to make the man advantage happen.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about like USF Green's Habibi. Like, he has his ult ready. How would it work for like a post plan situation? How useful would it be? The lockdown.
Essentially, it depends on where you put the lockdown. Especially if you try to put it on B. B is usually the smallest part of the map. So just as you see here, everyone's swarming out. Everybody's trying to get that out of the way. And
amazing 2 kill from Squirt, killing Gelato and
really
Lay. iWolf able to take out Bombaclad. Now it's a 1v1 from Squirt and iWolf. Squirt has eyes on Bomb, but is still playing very aggressive. Untimely use for the Stim Beacon. Squirt is able to take iWolf for its 3rd kill of the round.
Yeah, you gotta definitely love what you're seeing here. Green is to take away to get this.
Yeah, watching these like first rounds, I was thinking like, oh, USF White's got this in the bag. They got the confidence from winning last game. They have the momentum. They're pushing forward. But USF Green seems to be coming back in this. They seem to be like still wanting to fight for this, and it's going back to that similar stat line of like having it mirrored for each team.
Yeah, and that's the thing you're gonna keep seeing from here, everyone here, is that they're just gonna try to take it as far as they can. I'm sure both teams are pretty tired from that first minute,
You
so
want to
they
play?
might be doing
Let's
some.
play.
Be surprised we see some crazy aces coming up.
We see a Chambers ult being used on the bottom right part of the screen. Jet being there just for the re-rotate. USF White actually taking a very slow approach to this coming bomb site. Chambers having a good line of sight onto C, but USF Green's not getting any free kills now.
The hunt begins.
USF LA pops the Empress
30 seconds left.
ult. Squirt possibly going to get 1 to 2 kills here. Not able to even get the first one. Ducky gets away with the first kill. USF LA kills 4K Anderson. Page ready with the ult onto A site. A very well placed ult in order to stop the bomb plant.
Player standing.
Ducky with 1 kill, 2 cookies killing Bombclad. Now it's a 1v4 situation. Habibi versus the rest. I don't know if this will go out too well. Ducky going for the 3rd kill in this round against Habibi. Another round for USF White, making the score 6-4.
Definitely something that White team does not want is for them to get back the momentum. They don't want Green to get any type of advantage over them right now with the lead. So you definitely are seeing some very strong holds from Ducky. You're seeing Gelato. You're seeing them from Cookies, as you can see. They're definitely doing everything it's going to take for them to continue this lead and to close this one out.
Yeah, USF White seems to be playing this very methodically, like the way they're doing this, playing it very slow. They understand that momentum is like USF Green's strong point, and they're not letting them get away with it.
And you're also liking a lot of the util that's coming out of both teams. They're doing equally just as well, making sure the util is being used to the fullest potential here.
A 4v4 from USF Green to USF White. Let's see who gets the next pick. That next pick could be the deciding factor between the two teams.
Spike planted.
2 cookies takes out Page. Square with the ult. Not able to kill anyone. 2 cookies with this 3rd kill for the round. 4K Anderson taking out USF Duckies. 2 cookies about to get the 2nd kill. 4K Anderson takes out 2 cookies.
Last player standing.
iWolf taking out Bombclad on the long part of C. The rotate for 4K Anderson doesn't seem like it will help this round, and this round will probably go to USF White.
Oh, with 2 HP. You gotta wonder what 4K Anderson's gonna do here. Oh, nice. Coming from iWolf there, being able to hold that
Last
long
round
sight.
in the half.
You know, he had the advantage. It was unfortunately for 4K that he had almost little to no health there. It would have been a miracle that if he would have gotten that kill off of him.
Yeah, the use of the ults from the white team seemed to be so was it capitalized on? Like the use of the last ult, like he used it in order to get the person to not be able to defuse the bomb at all without dying.
Yeah,
What are like some things that you would say about the ults in this game? How useful they are?
right now you could clearly see, especially with the white team, that the util is going to be the name of the game too here. Just because since Haven is such a big map, you got to make sure the smokes are done. You got to make sure that like the vision is caught off as much as you can. That way, it's easily able, like the team is easily able to get onto site very quickly and very efficiently.
Nice shot from Squirt,
Down A.
trying to get the next kill. Dinks, so iWolf not able to finish it with the Phantom. This being a 3v2 to USF Green. Page and 2 cookies waiting for the smoke to go down. Page gets the
enemy
kill.
remaining.
A 3v1 to
Down you go.
USF White. 10 health remaining. Fork Anderson on the rotate, probably going to go to that sniper tower. Heady on the T side.
30 seconds left.
iWolf not being able to understand where each of the players are. This doesn't look good for iWolf.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if they're going to try to do anything differently here as they see that they're getting the advantage of iWolf's ult here. But he has 10 HP. This should be easy for green team to trade off.
Placing sentry.
Habibi taking out iWolf, making the score 5-7, and that will be the rotate of the teams, if I'm not mistaken. Rotate of the sides. Sorry.
Yeah, you are correct. Right now,
Switching
they're going to be
sides.
switching sides. And so now this is going to be Green's chance to be able to just try to hold the sites and try to get the rounds off of them. Try to get back to the 3 rounds they're down by. And White team now have to show up and make sure that their entries get them onto the site. Make sure that the smokers are getting out the smokes where they obviously could get killed from. And they got to play this methodically and smarter.
If you were in this series and you were able to pick the side you're on for this map, what would you start on? What side would you
If
start
I
on?
was the White team, I think with the advantage and the momentum they already have, I think C would be the better option here.
Mhm. USF Green seeming to be very aggressive towards the A side while they do have one player, Breach, holding the flank from the C site. Squirt or 2 Cookies not able to get a pick off this second. The rotate coming through towards C side. Reyna's able to hold the objective for so long. Not able to take the bot off the top box. Lay with the first kill from USF White. Another rotate from USF Green through mid. Fork Anderson will be able to take him out. UCF 2 Cookies not able to take care of him. The trigger discipline doesn't help Ducky in that situation. Fork Anderson with killing Gelato. Fork Anderson killing Lay. 2 kills to Fork Anderson for that round.
Yeah, and this is what you want exactly as green team. You want to go ahead and pretty much be able to take any advantage over this team right now that they're rock solid on their defense. They were able to make them crumble down on that side there. Now, if I was green here, I would do what I can and did. Essentially, don't fix what's not broken, right? Go ahead, keep it going, keep it going.
One thing I want to talk about was how USF Ducky played that round. He was able to see the entirety of the team basically through mid, but wasn't able to capitalize on any kills during that period of time. Do you think that was like the biggest problem for USF White that round?
Yeah, it might have been that it's overconfidence. They might have thought they knew where they're exactly going to be playing at, and then unfortunately it did not play out right for them. Hopefully they'll take a better look at what exactly they're going to do before they actually do it. 3
kills come easily for USF Green without losing any health at all. USF White now at a 2v5. This will probably be going to USF Green.
Last player standing.
Another kill for Bombaclad. Can he get his 3rd one for the round, or will it be Fork Anderson? Fork Anderson takes the 3rd kill of the round, stealing it from Bombaclad. Tying up the game 7-7. Do you think that like playing CT first and trying your hardest there would be the better option, just for the fact that, like, as you said, it's a very T-sided map, so it'd be easier to attack than defend?
It depends on the mindset of what the team is trying to go for. So essentially, you would always, when it's a defensive-sided game or defensive-sided map, in this case, you want to take all the rounds you can get because you never know how your attacking side is going to be. So if you can take as much as out of the enemy team from your defending, that leaves a little bit of room of wiggle of error to be able to be made there. But with these teams looking almost the same, it's gonna be hard regardless whether one is up or not, because look at it, we're back to 7-7. Both teams are using their util the best they can, getting those flashes out and getting the team onto site, using the smokes to their advantage. It's so hard to tell right now whether that defensive side even made a dent for the white team.
Yeah, I also like the way they started that round. Every player was holding an angle that would help the other player. No one was holding C, but other than that, everyone was holding the correct angles that they needed to be holding.
Yeah, and that's the major thing you said since the beginning. You got to be checking those corners. And right there, even Baba Cloud took advantage of iWolf, knowing that he's been playing that. They need to be starting to play differently here, white team, because now they're starting to figure out how they play. Green team is taking advantage of them playing the same way each round.
Yeah, it seems like USF Green is like capitalizing on the way that White's constantly playing each round. Bomba Cloud with a 4-piece for that round, almost an ace. Very impressive from USF Green, especially coming from that CT side where it seemed that USF White had the was a higher advantage.
Yeah, and right now you just gotta figure out, if you're the green team, okay, we were able to take this. We were able to have that advantage over them. Now, how can we get that back? How can we get them to realize that this is going to be our game? And with the 1 point up, I think they're going to start trying to figure out a way to get into their heads to be able to win this.
2 kills from USF White, 3 kills from USF White, taking down 3 players from USF Green. This is a eco round for USF White, being able to take care of these players. Squirt down to 30 HP. Bomba Cloud still at 150 HP. This is a very possible round for USF White to take. And on an eco round, this would be very beneficial for USF White.
Yeah, right now with the 3v2, Squirt and Bombacon are going to have to play this pretty smart to get this man advantage back. If they're able to, they might just take this away from White. But White is looking very, very smart here as they're just walking everything. They're making sure that they can just get onto site without having to risk another body here. If they keep this up and they keep this advantage up, they're going to be able to win this round with enough time. Right now, we're looking at 40 seconds left on the clock. Squirt and Bombacar are going to have to do a really smart job of getting aggressive here without losing any health here or a body.
Yeah, USF White, I feel like played that very well. They were able to play on an eco round, trying to get as many points, as many guns off the other team as possible. So then their economy goes down for the next round. What do you think White and Green should have done in order to like prevent that?
So essentially right now their thing is they're trying to find the cracks in the holes, right? They're trying to find out any way to get into their heads. But as they do it, they also they're tripping on themselves by getting themselves killed in very obvious spots whenever they try to push onto site. They also just got to play a little bit smarter when it comes to pushing sites, like with Chamber, right? He just activated that trap. If the round was still going on and if there's still time and they were trying to make something happen, that would have been an easy giveaway and all the team would have rotated. And the problem is Chamber's traps, that slows you down. That cuts your time off being able to rotate, being able to give out your info without having to die for it. So in this case, what I would do if I was the green team, whatever advantages they got over me with their util, try to work with the team to use their util to overcome that.
Coming back.
Yeah, I fully agree. The use of these like the utilities that these teams are using would be like the main decider between the skill gaps between these two teams.
No, I would say that just the biggest difference between the skill gaps and between both of them is just their time, right? The being able to figure out what to do in certain moments and being able to play off of it. That's going to be the real decisive factor between these two teams. Who has the most experience? Who is able to be calm and collected when certain situations happen? What happens when you're down a man? How can you recuperate? Those are going to be the key factors moving on towards this game. That's going to really make a difference for both teams.
these like grouped up like movements between USF Green, would you say that these are the play calls called in by their IGL?
Yes, for sure. And the other thing people need to realize as well is that the IGL doesn't make all the decisions to himself. Maybe sometimes you need a little audible from your teammates. What is a better option here? Are we feeling comfortable? Sometimes the input from your team can make the difference.
Making this a 3v2, BB taking out Lay.
Enemy remaining. Last player
1v1 between Squirt and Gelato. Gelato going for his 4th kill of the round. Squirt being able to take out Gelato. Another round for USF Green.
Yeah, that was a clean headshot from Squirt there. You gotta love his patience there, being able to poke out. And that's another thing too about Valorant, just like CSGO. Depending on how you peek, are you gonna peek from far away? If you're peeking from far away, what is your goal there, right? Whenever you peek from that far of a distance, it's because you're trying to grab information before you make the shots, before you make the noises there. If Squirt knew where he was exactly, he would have just swung that. Luckily for Squirt, he played it cool. He said, no, I'm going to get this info first before I make any sort of movements, because he only has a sheriff, right? A deagle, essentially. And that's a one-shot headshot. So if you can calculate and really predict where they are from being able to pick up that info early on, you'll be able to get those kills. And right now, Green is on top. Let's see if they can hold that.
Trap destroyed.
2 Cookies looking for the first pick for USF White. Not able to capitalize on those kills. USF Green gained the first pick. Page taking out 2 Cookies. It seems like they'll be going through a rotate towards mid, keeping one or two players towards A. But a fast rotate from USF White towards A. I don't know if this will be beneficial for Green team, especially them trying to go back towards A. Square gained the next pick on Ducky. The Killjoy is activated. So what does the Killjoy do for either team?
So for the other for that aspect, I mean, unfortunately, Rim destroyed it. But for that other team, it would have been beneficial because, you know, if you got a body or two in there, they get stuck, they get frozen, their movement gets cut down by almost like 10% to 10%. I'm sorry, and essentially it makes it a lot easier to be able to push and get those retakes. Right now, it really worked out for Green team because they were able to just be able to map out where everyone was. They were able to come together and say, okay, I'm going to look here. They're going to be right there. Hey, I know this guy's over here. Now, what's going to be very important from this point on is the call-outs. If they're able to pinpoint their enemies when they push onto site, the call-outs are going to be the major factor here.
Yeah, now USF Green up 10-8. It seems that USF White is going for a save this round. The economy is not looking too good in their side.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're gonna have to go for a save here. Sometimes you really don't want to go under that 2,000, but sometimes you really need a sheriff to hopefully maybe take a round off of them. It's very plausible. It's happened. We've seen it many times. So let's hope that it works out for the white team, because if not, this is gonna be 11-8 for a green team.
Yeah, USF White as well, but like in the previous rounds was able to capitalize on the fact that they were on an eco round, but was able to fix that by taking out 3 to 4 players on USF Green. I don't know if it'll be able to happen now. USF Green 2 to 2 actually now. Bombclat taking out Gelato. The BB taking out 2 Cookies, making this 11-8. Not a good look for USF White for this round.
Yeah, kudos to Green team. You know, I've been kind of bashing on them a little bit about how they're playing their styles, how they're letting White come over to be able to take those rounds off of them. But honestly, Green is playing this a lot more patiently. They're playing this a lot more smart. Squirt's definitely getting his kills as the entry jet. So important for him to be getting those kills off of them. Now it's up to White team to figure out, okay, what would I do in this situation? They know what I'm doing. How am I going to play this any differently? We might just see this go to map 3 if this continues.
2 Cookies with the first pick on Squirt. Lay taking out 4K Anderson. Page taking out iWolf. This is becoming a 3v4 in favor of USF White. Bombaclat taking out USF Gelato, making this now a 3v3. USF Lay possibly going to get this kill on Page. Two Cookies still holding down the long angle on A. Probably going to get this next pick. Nice attempt from Two Cookies. Page, USF Green aggressively pushing up towards the A bomb site. Bombaclat with its next kill.
Spike down A.
8 HP for Bombaclat and making it a 1v2. USF Ducky with the clutch, now making it 11-9. Another round to USF White.
Yeah, and they definitely needed that round. As I said previously, if they could let the green continue to do what they were doing, this was going to take to a definite map 3. Now, maybe I'm not so much in that space of thinking it might be a map 3. Maybe we just got enough momentum back to be able to try to tie this back up. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to hold all these sites down. They're going to need a little bit more smarter plays from their KJ and their chamber, get their traps out a little bit spread out a little bit better. The thing about chamber and KJ is that you don't want to always place them in those same places. Eventually, they'll start catching on, and they're not going to want to push, or they'll probably take out your util a lot quicker. And it's a great trade there from Ducky and Gelato.
Yes, now making it a 4v3 against USF Green. We still have 2 players going towards A. Gelato is on top of that, and we've seen today how good Gelato is on this map. This will be a hard retake for Page unless he is able to get the pick. He is.
Launching smoke.
Smoke's going down. USF Green probably going to get the plant off on A right now. This is going to be a hard retake for USF White, especially the way they're playing this. They have all the entrances held except the top of A site.
Yeah, and they got to make a step forward here. They got to go quick. Time is running out for them, and they need to start making a play here.
Unlucky for Two Cookies, not able to get that kill. Page on his 3rd kill today for this round. iWolf probably going to be saving the op for the next coming round, now making it 12-9. This is going to be a hard game for USF White to come back. That will be, what, 4 rounds in order to come back from this game?
Yes, essentially it'll be 4.
Match point.
4 minimum.
Sorry, 3. 3.
Three.
It's gonna be 3.
Yeah.
Quick, we're college kids. Man.
Yeah. We play video games.
Yeah. So honestly, it's looking pretty good for Green. They just might take this to map 3. Honestly, it'd be really surprising that if they can make this a 12-12, that they go for another overtime win here. I do like that Green has stepped up to the plate. They really got their stuff together. They're using the util and they're playing together along with it. That's the most important part here.
You got such big, important clutch factors like Two Cookies, who's about to get his collat, but 4K Anderson only having 6 points of health remaining for this round.
Cookies is going to have to play very smart here and methodically with this op. 4K was just ready to get him with his own util op. It's definitely looking pretty good, though. They're playing smart. They're hiding in corners where they need to. Hopefully, for White team's sake, they can continue holding this as smart as they have.
I come from background of Call of Duty, and so like collats are very like easy and possible. Is it like harder on this type of game mode?
If you have the op or chambers all, it's very possible. You just have to hope that they all line up for you. But it is very possible to get a collat here.
A really good round from USF White, 4-0. That was a very like well played out like map for them. They were playing slow on defense, which is what I think USF Green wasn't expecting for that round.
Yeah, it looks like they played a little sloppy there. Unfortunate for green team, but fortunate for white team trying to make this comeback happen. They only got 2 rounds left. And they gotta be feeling a little bit tense here, but also a little bit hopeful that the fact that they made the margin of a comeback a lot smaller than it originally was.
That initial pick on Squirt seemed to be, I think, as the deciding factor for that round. Squirt being like the high kill person for USF Green.
Yeah, definitely. Squirt is doing his job. He just needs his teammates to step up to the plate whenever they need those trades, whenever he needs those infos. They all need to be working around Squirt to be able to continue that.
Is this a 5-man push towards garage towards C?
Risky play here from White. Let's see if it pays off.
Lay able to get 1 kill, not able to get the second, but the information does go out to the rest of his team. This making it a 4v3 against USF Green. Plant goes down. Now it's all about the post plant.
Very smart ult from Page here. Unfortunately, he does go down, but that was more than enough time for the green team to.
Bombaclat taking 2 kills off the CT side. Gelato not able to kill Bombaclat. Bombaclat on a 3-kill streak.
Found one.
Is he able to find the 4th?
Ahead. There they are.
Bombaclat with the 4th kill, making this 13-10. Another point for USF Green team.
Yeah, it's amazing play here. One team took 1 off of their. It's funny, right? Like they took 1 off of each other's map picks. White team took Green's picks, and white team lost their pick against Green. So it's very funny to see the 2 maps they're very comfortable with. They ended up losing. So it's very, very awesome to see that they're challenging each other. They're like, this is your map, I'm taking it away from you. So the key factor we saw there is that even though Green was looking a little sloppy in the early rounds of defending, they were able to capitalize on attacking. And even though it was a longer stretch for them to take that map off of them, they were still able to get their team together and give them that last hurrah to make sure they take this to a BO3. I'm telling you, I predicted this, and I'm so sorry that I'm right. We're going to be here for the long run. 3rd map is coming up, and it's really going to be interesting to see what team is going to be the top dog here.
Yeah. The one thing I want to bring up is the fact that, like, when we were talking about this earlier, is the fact that this team is so mirrored with each other. The way they're playing is so well put. All the players are playing the position they need to play. There's no players that are lacklusting in what they need to do. Page wasn't getting too many kills in the first round, but that doesn't mean he wasn't helping the team with the smokes, with the information, with the play calls. And also, as we were talking about in the beginning of this map, is this a CT or T-sided map? And as you said, it was a very offense-heavy map. And this was shown because Green Team was actually down by the time of the switch, and then came up with a 4-round difference to USF Green to USF White. And I'm excited to see what happens in this last round. This will be the deciding factor of which team is better, USF White or USF Green. We're going to take a little break before we get there, and we'll see you when the game starts. Yes, sir, we're back into this. We're going into map 3, Bind. What is to say about this map, Castle?
Bind is structured like a typical 3-lane map, except that the middle lane is a little different. It's more of a horizontal more than a vertical. Essentially, and I hope I got that right. Horizontal, vertical. Yeah, vertical is left and right? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
It's left and right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, essentially, there's no side or bomb plant that's better than the other. Both are equally challenging to get if you're an attacker, and it's hard to defend as well. In the community, there's a lot of talk that both sides are just as hard or one as the other. But in my experience playing Valorant and playing with the teams, Bind is very much a util
Select
game.
your agent.
You need to make sure your smokes are out. You need to make sure that the traps are out because flanks are so easy to get on. So I like the fact that both teams are going for a chamber here to make sure that the flanks are covered. I like the extra security that green team is going for with the KJ, but you also got to remember that offsets the fact that you know you could also have two smokes, which is his white team is doing. So they're both playing some pretty different metas here. It's going to be very interesting what both teams can do with these metas because two smokes definitely helps, but also two people who have util that can help with traps and rotates. It's gonna be really strange to see which one's gonna come out on top.
Yeah, and also we were talking about like pre-match about like Yoru and his like the new buff that was added or just new changes, should we say, that was added to Yoru. This is the first time I've actually seen it being used in competitive play within USF, and I'm wondering, like, do you know how well like Squirt would be playing this character?
So I personally seen a Squirt play him before the new buff that they've done to him, and then I've never actually seen him on this new one. So it's gonna be interesting. I know he was already someone who's very comfortable with Yoru, so it's gonna be interesting to see what plays he's gonna do. I'm sure he's looked at Twitter and seen all the crazy strats that people have done with Yoru so far. So I hope to see him here as well.
Bombcloud with the first pick of this third map. Lei taking out Bombcloud though with the trade. The teleport all from left of B side towards A side. They're having Yoru stay in there just in case anyone else teleports.
Spike planted.
This being a 4v4 retake for USF White. Habibi about to see iWolf. iWolf able to take out Habibi. UK Anderson able to take out iWolf. Page taking out Gelato. Lei taking out Page. This becoming a 1v2 situation for White. Squirt being able to take out Lei, and that's the first point to USF Green.
Definitely back and forth there. It almost seemed like it was about to turn into a 1v1. But luckily for Green, they were able to play the trade game. They have the cross set up ready for when someone's just going to try to just smoke and just try to go for a fake defuse. Because in that situation, you definitely don't want to try to be defusing. I'm sure that the information came around to Lei that both were watching that exact thing. And to give credit to where credit is due, that was a pretty hard thing to overcome. But for Green, it was definitely what they need to start off this round.
Yeah, it was a perfect use of the rotation through the teleport and able to like control A side so easily. 4K Anderson about to see USF Lei, should we say, in this corner. Gelato being taken care of. Lei, the information goes out for Lei. Bombcloud about to come out and take out Lei. Now they rotate through CT spawn for USF White. USF Green starting their hold onto the bomb site. This is going to be a hard retake.
Yeah, definitely. iWolf is going to have to come in here blazing, at least using his grenades here, trying to get some, pretty much try to get them as down as they can. Bombcloud ready for that elbow push there as well. Green is really taking control of this match so far.
Ducky out here with the one tap to the head. Habibi able to take out Ducky. Squirt taking out 2 cookies. All up to iWolf, not able to get the defuse. Trying to grab the gun. Habibi takes him out. Goes to the teleport. Saves the gun.
It's going to be tough for White to win that, especially with the gun difference here. The gun diff really doesn't matter in the pistol round when you got, Spectres and Stingers versus you just using your classic, which is a free gun. It's going to be hard. If they would have won that, I would have been very, very surprised. So kudos to Green still being able to bonus, not having to waste too much util, not having to waste too much money. And they were able to get this. So now both teams should have an equal value of buys here. So let's see what White can come up with to see if they can counteract and get a round off of them.
We see one of our first lineups set up for USF White. The information goes out for USF White. USF Ducky able to take out Bombaclat. Is two cookies going to be able to take out this USF Squirt?
Go get him.
USF 4K able to come out with this life with only 25 HP. I feel like the hardest part of this like casting is the fact that you're saying USF for both teams because some of them have USF in their name.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that I ask them to do every time we get new players. Like, if you're gonna go out and represent USF, please put it in your name so that when you win, it's just that much sweeter to know that you're being represented, or you are representing a school who's just starting off. We're already having these crack players play.
One nice pick from two cookies.
down
The
A.
information goes out for the rest of his team. 4K Anderson able to trade out two cookies. iWolf taking out 4K Anderson, squirting out iWolf, and then Ducky finally trading out Squirt for the round win for USF White.
Yeah, kudos to Ducky there, being able to hold it. Even though bodies were dropping, it wasn't too many. It was only 2 out of the 5. So it's still good enough for them to be able to get this round off of Green team. Green shouldn't feel too bad about that one. They just need to make sure they don't commit the same mistakes that they did, which was aggressively push in without really knowing the info of where everyone's at.
You see a slow push from USF Green towards the B site. No one's staying up hookah. Would you say like that's like a problem for USF Green? Like that's like something that they should be worried about?
Hookah in general is a tough area to take control of, because let's say they all 5 want to push hookah, you'll definitely lose in that aspect. But not having a presence in hookah will definitely hinder them. It'll definitely make it easier for them to push. And especially that they don't have a sage where they could put like a wall, possibly to stop the push on hookah. They need to be very, very careful that they don't lose B side too many times because of that.
USF 2 cookies able to take out 4K Anderson, the mirror operators. We have seen Bombaclat being able to take out entire teams by just himself. I'd still be worried if I was USF White, even though we have a 5-3 disadvantage.
Yeah, even with the man bodies, you always got to be careful, because Squirt is about to. Oh well, I was gonna say he was gonna
30
about to be a
seconds
difference maker here, but unfortunately he dies in his ult.
Yeah, ult didn't go through for some reason. Isn't it supposed to come through instantly as soon as the mask goes on?
Riot decided to make a delay just because the ult itself is pretty broken in my opinion, and they know that as well. They had to have some leverage where they can't just instantly leave in the middle of a fight.
Bombaclat looking a little shaky right there. Probably going to stay on the teleport, wait for people to go through in order to save the gun for the next round.
And definitely shout out to the white team being able to tie this back up. Initially, like I said in the beginning, the gun difference is going to make the difference for them, especially the fact that pistols versus submachines is always going to be the clear winner there. But once you give both teams equal money and equal guns, it's always a toss-up.
I think we're experiencing some lag from our USF Green team. That's why the timeout was called. So, what are some things like that you would see as like beneficial for each team or like a disadvantage? Because one of them that I saw that I thought personally was like kind of bad for the defense team on USF White. This coming from a player that doesn't really play Valorant too much, was like the lack of presence in hookah. Like those past few rounds, there wasn't like any presence on like looking over hookah. They were more of like, if they push through, they will take them out as soon as they come out of hookah, which I don't think is the smartest strategy in my opinion.
So, I mean, having background with FPS, should be able to see that the fact that they leave hookah open definitely is a hinder for the defensive team. But again, it goes back to how they plan to handle that, right? Let's say there's no one in hookah, but they have a brim. They possibly have a chamber that can actually place the traps in hookah. If you're able to counteract those issues beforehand, leaving hookah open is too bad of an idea. Now, that could also save up for later on. Let's say they want to play, have a tricky play or a sneaky play where they might have one person holding it with a judge or a shotgun and just absolutely destroy them when they try to push. It could also just be the fact that they're not comfortable holding hookah and they know they'll lose it. So it's a lot of reasons, but I'm glad to see they're doing well.
Spike down.
Also, I
attacker
think that
spawn.
USF Green will be taking a technical pause after this round because of some like connection issues happening within the game.
Yeah, and if you live on campus, you gotta understand like this is something that happens constantly, and it's something I feel bad for all students that live on campus. Our networks with Riot servers are always so funky. Um, I'm glad to say I live off campus, so I don't have these issues too much, but I know it's a hinders to some of our players that do live on campus.
Still nice shots from 4K. Something I want to talk about with the connection is I remember you stating that like the server that they probably are connecting to is in Georgia. There's nothing in Florida or like something like even closer to us.
So yeah, that unfortunately that is the closest one to us, Georgia. I know Riot has about 6
30 seconds
servers
left.
in the U.S.
Right here.
It being Virginia, Georgia, Texas. I think one
One
in
enemy
Illinois,
remaining.
and I can't remember the other one. But essentially, if you live off campus and have good stable internet, those servers are really done well. It's nothing like I know you could probably compare it to CS:GO's regular 64 tick servers that sometimes just don't register at all. And of course, that could always be blamed on the netcode as well, it being 64 tick. But also, you got to understand that a lot of players are logging on, even in this moment while we're casting, while they're playing. There's other teams in the US that are trying to connect to those servers as well. And Riot, for the most part, has done a good job at trying to make it accessible for everybody. But sometimes it's not Riot's fault. Sometimes it could be just like USF's IT department, where they try to make strict guidelines to make sure that our students and staff are protected. And that does come at the cost of having our players having to take extra measures just to play on these servers.
Yeah, of course. And especially as someone who's like, I come from like a Call of Duty background, and like playing Call of Duty nowadays, there's still that constant like lag issue, server issue, because there's not like any servers like in America for a Call of Duty game, which is very weird, especially for some people living in the East Coast, which is confusing for me. And so that's like the server issue is like such a big thing in these games. Like even pro players that are playing on LAN, their games like crash due to server issues, which shouldn't really happen during like LAN events, but like tend to happen every once in a while. And it's more of like we just have to be okay with it. And like I'd rather want to see like some type of improvement on these like server issues rather than just being like, yeah, it's fine, we gotta deal with what we got.
Yeah, and I definitely feel you to that. I definitely have played Cold War and this past one. Which I'm sorry, what was the last one again?
Vanguard.
Right. So it really does show that like even it happens in a lot of games. You know, Apex I've heard has issues as well on these USF's networks as well. And but it also takes to the fact that the companies need to help out when not all of their players are going to have stable or accessible in the networks.
Very heavy push from USF Green onto this side. USF White already all the way rotated, ready for this plant to go through. Is iWolf going to be able to get this pick off at a BB? Will he be able to check his corners to see Squirt hiding in the right corner? A fake rotate from USF Green. They will be able to get this bomb plan down if iWolf isn't able to get the kill, but he kills Squirt on the corner. Bomb plan able to kill off USF Ducky, one of the clutch players that we've seen from USF White.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Squirt. The patience did not pay off. 4K Anderson being able to get off those picks because of the info. iWolf doing his best to just be able to clear out U-Haul, but it did not work out. Right now with the 3v2 situation turning into a 2v1 situation, both teams are just knocking each other out. It's on site for them. It's literally on site.
A nice kill from Habibi to finish the round. USF Green takes another point, making the score 3-3. I wanted to ask someone like that has a lot of experience with Riot and like understands how they are. How would you say is like a company they are with like community like engagement and like how they are with like helping the people within the community?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Riot, even if with their
Can I get a drop?
recent scandals and stuff, Riot does really care about their community, especially even in League of Legends. They really do take care of their community as best as they can. They really do hear out what the community has to say, and a lot of times Riot just tries to be that company that others don't want to be, right? So we go back to comparing our first-person shooters, you know, Call of Duty, CS:GO, you know. We complain a lot, like it doesn't feel like they sometimes hear what we have to say, but Riot really does try to do a really good job at being transparent on what the community really wants and what they deserve, you know, because at the end of the day, if we're putting our money in, pay for skins and all this, it should go back to the community having to have a good experience.
A nice takedown from USF White. USF Green only with 2 more players remaining. Habibi, Squirt taking down a player each. A 1v2 from USF Green. This doesn't look too well for USF Green, honestly. They seem to have a pinch. Habibi able to take off one without Ducky being able to check the corner.
Who's gonna crack first as the game here?
30 seconds left.
Ducky knows where the bomb is. He's waiting for Habibi to be there in order to... Ducky with the nice wall bang on Habibi. That was such a good play stop from Ducky. Honestly, if I died as his teammate, I'd probably be pissed at him for just letting me die like that and not helping out with the cross. But it makes more sense for him to watch the bomb and like play slow.
Yeah, for sure. Questionable from that aspect, but I do like the fact that Ducky was patient about it. He did know where they were. He knew that where he was. So, you gotta use the information to the best of your ability. Okay, they know I'm in hookah, but they don't know I'm hiding behind this box. There's 2 corners that he could have hit. So he's definitely waiting for me to do something. He was waiting for something as easy as a sound, something to give out the position so that he was able to peek that, and he did very well.
Nice kill from Habibi, killing off USF Ducky. This angle from 2 cookies might be able to take out a few players as soon as these smokes go down.
Spike down.
A possible collat in the making. Bomb collat able to take out USF 2 cookies. Squirt on the rotate towards B. USF Gelato reading this rotate. Is he able to take out any of the players? 4K Anderson not able to take out Gelato. Gelato playing up B elbow, trying to possibly watch for any rotations through that elbow. Nice shot from 4K Anderson, killing off USF Lay, making this a 2v4 situation.
Last player standing.
Good kill from Habibi on USF Gelato. Habibi with his 3rd kill of this round, killing iWolf. It was a good round for USF Green, taking it up back to 4-4 again and again. We're seeing this mirrored factor that we were talking about in the beginning of the games. These teams seem to be so well, like, skill, like, matched that, like, it's hard for another player to get, like, a advantage round, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And that was definitely a clutch play by Habibi, being able to hold that down. Just like you said, they're so equally matched, right? It's funny, these teams always have issues trying to find another team to scrim, and sometimes I feel like they don't need to go. That's kind of ignorant to say, because you should always be playing against other teams. But when it comes to the fact when they can't find another team to scrim, like an opposing college team, this is this is what you want, because you are so equally matched. How do the question becomes, how can I overtake them? How can I be the one to make the deciding factor of how we're gonna make this a different match, right? They're so equally matched. How do I crack them? How do I beat the system to be able to win this?
BB playing so aggressive, able to take off one off the B bomb site. 2 more players on B bomb, trying to get the plant down. Hunter's Fury comes out from Ducky. Not able to get a pick or even get any information of where any of these players are. Getting the recon data out there to understand where any players are. Bombclad does get spotted. Shock Dart does go out. Who's going to be the first pick of this next kill? Team is still 4-4. Not a lot of damages. Page comes out, killing off USF Lay. Still playing it very slow, not playing too aggressive. It's a very like methodic playstyle that they're playing right now. Bombclad taking out USF Ducky, going for the second.
Last player standing.
Taking off 2 cookies. Will he be able to get the third for the round? No. USF 4K Anderson able to take out iWolf, making this a 5-4 round to USF Green. That seemed like a really good round for USF Green. Anything you want to like talk about there?
Yeah, for sure. I really like the fact that Squirt really led the team in there. We're getting a lot of help from everyone else now too. Habibi has been now a talk of the name there. That's definitely the teamwork you want to be seeing if you are playing an opposing team that is just not letting go of the gas, because white team is just not gonna let them win without a fight, and the fight has been there every single round.
Yeah, these teams seem to be doing so well against each other. Fork Anderson able to take out 2 cookies in showers. Fork Anderson playing so aggressive, getting iWolf even though he got dinked in the head. 10 health left for Fork Anderson. This is now a 5v3 situation for USF White. A 3-person rotate through CT side. Probably going to go up the sniper. Bombclad able to take out USF Ducky. That big clutch factor that we were talking about in the previous round. Gelato able to take out 1. Page taking out Gelato. USF Lane not able to clutch that round. Habibi being able to take him out. Another good round for USF Green. Able to have 4 players alive at the end of the round.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of the gas leaving the body type of ordeal. I'm not talking about farts here. I'm talking about more of the energy. White seems to be taking it a little bit too cautious here. We need a little bit more alert because Green Team is now being able to put their foot on the gas and actually accelerate into the site, being able to take it over, being able to hold down those sites, and very much check those corners that they're being a little lazy picking. I feel like they need to change up their game a bit if they want to take one on another way from Green.
A nice pick from Squirt. It seems I think that USF White is going for a save round, if I'm not mistaken, as we saw that that player using a pistol for their loadout.
Toxin screen down.
Bombclad pushing up to bomb site. Page taking out Gelato. USF Ducky playing in the smoke, trying to get a pick. USF Ducky able to take out Bombclad, moving towards elbow. We can see the rotate from USF White through CT side. This is a 4v3, but still a possible 4v3. You can never doubt USF Ducky.
Yeah, he's such a playmaker. He's been one of our rising stars this semester. Don't be surprised to see him in gold next.
What a shot from iWolf, taking out Squirt. Shots going out. USF 4K Anderson taking out 2 cookies. Ducky trying to get Habibi. Not able to do so. iWolf not able to save the round, should we say.
Yeah, unfortunate for White there. Green is not letting go of the pedal. No matter how many bodies they're losing at this point, they always seem to find a way to just play calm, pick a corner, and just hold that site down. They're doing so well with their 1v1s. White really needs to step it up and really focus on their fights here. Because the fact is right now we're starting to see a little bit more of the difference maker here. Now we're starting to see, okay, maybe they're not playing as mirrored as we've been saying all these past 2 games. And that's only due to the fact that I believe it's just right now, White is gassed right now. They are feeling the effects of playing these long games, and Green, they're just ready for it. This is just another day in the office for them. So let's see if White can pull it together and get some kills out.
Yeah, and as you were saying about like how they were winning their gunfights, I feel like the aggressive playstyle from USF Green was the playmaker for this team. The ult didn't go off the way he wanted to. The attack killjoy going through, lockdown destroyed. It's a 3v4 to USF Green. 2 cookies already ready for the rotate. Another fake rotate towards B. They're actually going to be pushing towards A.
Yeah, this is a very smart strat going for them. They're not realizing what's going on. You want the white team to be confused. You want them to over rotate. Right now, even though white team is starting to just readjust and say, "Hey, let's stop playing around. Let's stop
30 seconds left.
over rotating so much." They still have them on their toes, but now they have corners that iWolf might just get this pick right now.
Habibi able to take off iWolf. USF play last one on A by himself.
Spike planted.
Able to stay alive. Able to take out Page. Bomb does get planted though. This is a 3v3 situation. USF Green has 2 people alive. 1 player with only 39 health left. Viper ult does go out. They're all just waiting for that defuse.
Last player standing.
Brimstone's dead.
Good kill from Squirt. Unable to get the person off the bomb. Defenders win this round, making the score 5-7 to USF way.
Yeah, white team knowing it was last round, they had to play to win to make sure to get that last round in. If it was going to be 4-8, it'd be a tougher climb, mountain to climb. But luckily, they just made it a 2-point deficit now. Now, if you're USF white, you really got to reset here. You got to reset your mindset. Wake up to sip some G Fuel at this moment in these next 20 seconds and just really talk to your team and be like, hey, okay, we're not out of it. We're still very much in this game. Let's make sure we win our battles. Let's make sure our util is on point. And let's make them over-rotate. Let's make them think what is not actually happening. We need to be playing these mind games to be able to win. Because if the gunfights aren't winning, well, you need to beat them in smarts.
A fake teleport coming from Yoru. Another fake teleport coming from the chambers. Both teams using their utils very properly. Squirt able to take down 2 players. 2 cookies able to trade out Squirt. Bombaclad taking out Ducky, while 2 cookies trades him out.
Spike planted.
This making it a 2v3 situation. You just have 2 cookies only left on 10 health. iWolf able to take out 1. 2 cookies able to take out 2. Pros don't fake.
But it's
Page
okay because he's collegiate. and Green Team takes that one.
You see what's that pistol called? What's that skin?
Which one? The one that Paige is holding?
Yeah.
That's called the Mage Punk.
Mage Punk. Yeah. John was
Mage
talking
Punk
about that's
those.
his like favorite set.
Yeah, definitely cool. I like their color sets. I think it's with like gold, purple. I think one is blue as well. Very cool. I dig it as well. Never shows up in my shop, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah, when I remember when we cast last time, he was talking about like having it for other guns rather than just a pistol and the Marshall.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of nice and also kind of annoying, right? It does make nice sets for all the guns, but sometimes they're not for all the guns. But it kind of keeps that mystery of, I feel like, of authenticity of the fact that it's like, oh, I can only get it for this, and then other players are going to want to ask you to drop just because it's like, well, I don't have that because I didn't think about buying that. So it's a double-edged sword when Riot does that, but very cool set nonetheless.
Toxins going up.
I'm personally not a fan of the pistol that Gelato's using. I think it looks bad. I'm not a fan. But as long as he gets the kills, that's all that matters.
To everyone, I'm not a fan of it either. But I guess he does.
USF White now at a 3-5 disadvantage. But we still got those clutch factors on each team. We still got that possibility.
Yeah, and if you're USF right now, you
30
know
seconds
you're
left.
down. You need to make something happen here. You need to make sure that if you're gonna go out there and shoot a body, it's
Last
because you're
player
gonna trade it.
standing.
Squirt on a
Spike down
3-kill spree this round. Is he going to be able to get the 4th? That will be the next interaction.
10 seconds left.
Squirt able to get the 4-piece for this round. Not able to ace, though. That's all I got to say.
When you're Squirt, I think just getting the kills and being able to meme at the same time is good enough for him.
Was 2 cookies at that round trying to 360 him?
Yeah, I think he's playing the wrong game. I thought he was playing COD for a minute.
Oh,
no?
yeah. I tried 360 low.
That works.
I like how fun they're having with this game. It's not super overly serious. They're not raging over this. They're having fun because they are both teams from the same school.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you play familiar faces, even though you know it's serious, you still want to have some fun with it. Because at the end of the day, you get to talk to them the next day and be like, "Haha, you remember when I got that headshot off of you?" And it creates more of a competitive and friendly environment more than a toxic and serious one. And I really like that about our community and our players.
That was an amazing shot from Wolf. In the fire, able to take care of the breach that was holding them in that corner.
Spike planted.
You can't tell me that pistol's not amazing.
That pistol was very clean.
Here.
A Guardian coming out from 4K Anderson. Bombclad able to take out iWolf. Gelato taking out 4K Anderson. Now it's a 2v1 for USF White. All up to Bombclad. Gelato one-tapping Bombclad, not able to clutch this round. Good round from USF White, making it a weird score of 6-9.
Nice. And yes, very sure.
Very fun
Pretty
score.
much, we like what we're seeing from White now. Now they're it seems like they woke it up a little bit in that round. Definitely now with the full buys, both teams kind of have the same economy. Both teams have the same weapons. Let's hope that White team has built up enough energy, saved up enough storage in their capacity to be able to bring this back to a tie game.
Smoke's going down. 4K Anderson not yet having any specific information coming from this USF White team. Information does come out.
Take flight.
Bomb buddy out.
We're all just waiting for that first blood.
Yeah, they're playing patiently now. Now that they know that White is actually getting some type of momentum, they want to play smart here. They want to make sure that once they get that first kill, they blast onto site.
iWolf
There
with a
it goes.
nice shot towards USF. 4K Anderson. Bombclad able to trade out iWolf. USF Ducky taking out Bombclad. USF Gelato taking out Squirt.
To my world.
Ults going up from Viper. USF White seeming to have this round to themselves. Viper going down.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Page
30 seconds
up
left.
to the 2 players from USF White.
Smart rotate for them.
Would you say that was a smart rotate from Page? Now they know exactly.
No. It was a smart rotate for them, the White team.
Oh, no.
They
I'm
great
saying
TP and great pretty much hold from Lay there to get the kill, and the bomb plant. So more money and more kills for them.
do you think it was more of a panicked reaction from Page in order to also jump through the teleport? Because I feel like the noise and the fact that you're at a 2-1 disadvantage that makes it kind of useless to do that.
I think that because of the fact not most people would actually stay in hookah for the when that's happening because you're running short on time. You want to make sure that your teammate is safe on site. I think the fact that they took that risk definitely paid off for them, and that's something typically you probably won't see often. So unfortunately for Paige, I don't think it's more of a panic as more of an instinct.
Gotcha. There's a fast flank coming from USF Green. 3 players coming from the T side of the map. Players are already started to rotate through the teleport. Bombclat about to see 1 to 2 players. Able to get one.
Spike down
Working on the
B.
second one. Not able to clear it up. 2 cookies. Having 2 players in front of him, not knowing that they're both there.
Yeah, and that was a really smart flank from them. Even though he only took 1 body, that still gave enough fear to the white team to be able to do anything.
Nice shots from Paige. Also, the Sova from the A side was able to clear the actual site,
30 seconds
making
left.
it 2v2 for USF White. It's a good hold from USF Ducky if he's able to get this kill.
Standing ahead.
Spike planted.
USF Ducky to USF Green. Fast clear checks of each corner.
1 enemy remaining. Last player standing.
USF Ducky versus Habibi. Who's able to win this round?
Ooh, Shock Dart almost killed him.
I am the hunter.
Scares him off with his ult. Very smart of Ducky. Unfortunately, Habibi has to die from the bomb. So, I mean, my team is looking pretty clean right now. They definitely are playing a lot smarter. We're starting to see the kills come in more for them. They're starting to win their duels, as you can see. 3 of them 11, well, 2 of them 11-13, 1 of them 11-12, 9-15 from the Wolf. But honestly, that's a lot better than what originally the game started with. We're starting to see a lot more one-on-one fights that they are winning. So as Green Team, if you know that you're starting to lose those, maybe it's time for a refresh, maybe a change on site. Let's see if Green can mask and put a stop into their plan.
USF White also coming back in this game, making it score 8-9. Early killjoy usage by USF Green. BB looking up top hookah.
And we got some smarts holding from Green. Honestly, they're playing this very smart. You don't want to do anything drastic. You know white team has the momentum. It's time to give them a little slow and hope that that slow affects them. But unfortunately, Lee in this case definitely ain't feeling that. And Gelato ain't feeling that either.
Good shots coming out from both teams. USF White down 2-3. This is going to be a hard retake for USF White.
Launching smoke. Got the spike.
10 seconds left. 1 enemy remaining. Spike down B.
3 kills for Page, killing USF late. Will he be able to get his 4th? No, iWolf takes down Page. That's a 1v2 situation. Not able to clutch it. USF Green on their 10th point. 3 more to win the round, to win this map, and win the series.
Yeah, it's looking good for Green. As I said before, they were going to try to find a way to slow them down because they were taking advantage of the fact that pretty much they're still up by only a score 1, and now they managed to make it now 2 to still give them that space to give them a little bit of breathing room here. And now you got to wonder if the white team has enough left in the tank to still be able to try to make this tie happen and possibly win the game.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, of course. USF Green having a good hold on A. Ult's going out. Ult's being used. No kills from any ult from USF White. Squirt able to take out iWolf. Nice shot from USF. 4K Anderson. USF Lady able to trade out two cookies. Now we're down to a 3v4 situation. We see Yoru's ult going into play. He is marking where he is in order for someone else to kill him.
Down A.
Paged able to use that information from Yoru in order to take off USF Gelato, making this an 11-8 round.
That was a very smart way of using Yoru's ult there. Instead of actually just coming out and shooting himself, he said, well, you know what? I'm going to share the piece of cake for everybody. I'll show you where they're at. Just shoot me. And essentially, that's what they literally did. They were just shooting his body, but obviously it was going right through him to actually get the kill. Very smart play. Definitely like to see that from Yoru's coming out. Unfortunately, in our ranked games, that doesn't happen too often. But luckily, we see here USF being smart with it.
My thing is that USF White really isn't out of the race. This team, these teams play so well against each other, just individually, that really can't lose faith in them.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose faith in them, but you also, as USF White, don't want to feel like you're losing just yet. I didn't like that aggressive peek from Ducky there. Unfortunately, due to the molly, the rest of the team could not push out with him. Like we said at the beginning of the match, Hookah's a very tough spot to overtake if you're not playing it correctly. And that was more sense for the defense. But as offense as well, the cutoff of vision with those smokes in there really make it hard for you to move around. So kudos to them to using that to their advantage.
USF White really holding angles here, waiting for a pick to come into the line of sights, but USF Green not giving them any or at all free kills. It's gonna be a hard retake for USF White in order to take over this point and plant the bomb.
30 seconds
Shots
left.
go out, not able to
Spike
trade
down
it.
B.
Finally able to get the trade. USF 2 cookies, able to get 2 nice kills. Babaclat taking out iWolf. 2 cookies, able to clutch this round with 3 other people on USF Green. 2 cookies has been shown to play very well in these very desperate situations. Do you think he'll be able to clutch this round?
Fortunately, I mean, Cookies has the aim. He has the smarts to be able to get some of these kills. But I would like to see a little bit more team play from him because unfortunately, even though he has been getting his kills, I feel like he could do more with the team. And you can see from there, he was the last one alive. Understandably, he was using his util to the best of his advantage. But again, this is a team play game where you definitely want your teammates to be doing as much as you can to win the round together, because you know, you're not always gonna win those 1v3s. We're not all 10s, you know. We gotta step it up and make sure the whole team is involved when whatever you're doing.
That works. They found my trap.
I like how aggressive USF White's playing on this map right now. Even though they're down so much, playing aggressive will catch USF Green really off guard.
Yeah, they're definitely going for the approach of let's all play together, let's all push together. They can't all kill us at once.
2 crazy kills from Squirt. Habibi able to take out Gelato. This making it a 1v3 situation for USF White. This round probably will go to USF Green. What was that crosshair? I've never seen that in my life.
Might be a little bit of casting a curse there. Probably looked like it was about to be a closeout, but unfortunately, that crosshair won them the fight. Or I'm sorry, lost the fight.
Okay, time for
USF Green able to take out USF Lay. That was a good game, and the series goes to USF Green winning map 3.
Definitely, I predicted pretty much this was going to be a nail biter for both teams. It was definitely a lot of fun to watch. As we can see from the scoreboard here, Squirt being the man of the hour, legit just being able to diversify himself from all the agent pools here, being able to get his team onto site, being able to use Yoru's util to their advantage for more info than actually entering. I gotta say, I really liked his gameplay today. Kudos to Green Team. Coming back, losing that first match, I'm sure they didn't feel much from it because the way they played afterwards has been so phenomenal, honestly. But also, shout out to White Team.
Yeah. Also, what are you talking about? Square playing Yoru. He was like using this character that like hasn't been played in any of the three other maps in such a unique way, using that ult to like tell his teammates exactly where people are, giving locations, helping them out, try to win these gunfights. And USF Green does come out on top today, but you can't uh, lower the results that USF White gave to us. They won map one. They played each map very well. USF Green came out on top today. USF White could come out on top tomorrow. It's always give and take.
For sure, no disrespect to White Team. They played their hearts out. I mean, we all can see that the fact is they're on Green Team's level. Today was not their day, unfortunately. And fortunately for Green Team, they are still considered the top team right now. So kudos to them to keeping their record strong now, going 5-1. And unfortunately for USFY going 4-2. But that doesn't mean anything because that just only means we are a very strong school. Any schools watching, watch out. Our gold team isn't our only team. But definitely, I really, really loved seeing both teams play, and I love seeing their progress. And there's gonna be more to come in the future.
Yeah, I'm so happy for our USF Green team to win this game today. This was a fun day of like watching Valorant, watching our own two teams play with each other, them having a little fun on the side, just enjoying the game today. Um, Well, this has been USF Esports, competitive ECAC Valorant. I'm Rishi. This is Kevin. We'll see y'all next time.